let's do a cheers to the Sobeys and Safeway Liquid Beer for the podcast.
We ride again.
I love you guys.
Careful, that cake's hot.
Check-in, come on, let's go. It's the AM Nasty Big Hello. It's not static, AM radio. It's the Cool Bed Red Hot Nielsen Show. Let's go. Everybody's tuning in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macromella intros are cutting like a knife. Hey, it's Mitch texting in, he's your dealer for life. Let's crack a 6 o'clock and log in with some sirloin bites.
Awareness Month is upon us. Charge. Charlie the Penguin, Chinstrap Penguin. Charlie the Penguin, Chinstrap Penguin. Charlie the Penguin, Chinstrap Penguin. I remember my first toy penguin. Hello. Oh, my name is Charlie the Chinstrap Penguin. Because I'm a Chinstrap Penguin. Charlie. Chinstrap is an aphrodisiac. The Chinstrap is an aphrodisiac. Confirmed.
Everything about it is perfect.
There's good chinny and there's bad chinny.
Yeah.
I'm sure Ryan Rashad probably shaving in the hot tub as we speak. There you go. Beautiful. Charlie the Penguin, Chinstrap Penguin. Charlie the Penguin, Chinstrap Penguin. Charlie the Penguin, Chinstrap Penguin. Sketchy animal mascot. Charlie the Chinstrap Penguin. That's a church mascot. I love that penguin. The animal world. Happy church, everyone. Help us end the stigma. Hey now, grow a chin strap. Charlie the Penguin, Chinstrap Penguin. Charlie the Penguin, Chinstrap Penguin. Charlie the Penguin, Chinstrap Penguin. Charge, Charlie the Penguin.
6:04. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the AM Nasty. It's Dusty and Lieutenant Eric with you, coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio today. And you know what? I had to play Charlie the Chinstrap Penguin, so I get another song stuck in my head. Yes. Because this morning on the way into work, the radio station we were listening to last night, and usually on the way in, I'll listen to a fantasy football podcast or Lakers Nation or something. And the radio was on when I got in, and it was playing No Scrubs. And I had No Scrubs stuck in my head. This was Scrub is a guy that won't get no love from me, hanging out the passenger side of his best friend ride, trying to holla at me. Now I'm going to do it as Charlie the Penguin. A scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me, hanging out the passenger side of his best friend's ride. I'm Charlie the Penguin. Anyway, Charlie the Penguin, big presence on the show early.
That song will scrub anything from your mind that's in there rattling around.
Charlie the Penguin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the...
Elizabeth last night was dropping on. I'm going to have to record it at some point. She was going, Daddy the Daddy, the chin strap daddy.
Sure, why not?
She was, the daddy line was
The Elizabeth
terrific.
House remix.
Yeah. She was just doing it at dinner last night the whole time. She thought it was the funniest thing. And to be honest with you, it kind of was. I was laughing at it. Tammy, not so much, but whatever.
It's been a
Whatever.
long month for Tammy.
Yeah, we all can't be
We're only
buzzkills.
halfway through.
Like, yeah. So you get sick earlier in the month. And now you can't laugh at Daddy, the chin strap daddy. Come on. Let's go. It is the Nielsen Show. We are brought to you by South Fort Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a month. Or drive a little, save a lot out at Truck Month at South Fort Chevrolet. Deeper discounts, lower interest rates on Silverados and HDs because it's Truck Month. And those are trucks. 0% financing for up to 72 months on Silverado Customs and Custom Trail Bosses. And of course, the Silverado is built right here in Canada, damn it. Drive a little, save a lot, www.southfortchev.com. This one's in. It says, no scrubs in Charlie the Penguin voice is why the 6 o'clock hour is the best hour in radio. My man, you know, some people, not everybody, but some people just get it. Also, here's a very important conch today. Dawn from Edmonton texts in and says, good morning, guys. I'm texting in from the Mazinkowski. May I please get a conch for my husband, Les, who's undergoing open heart surgery this morning. He's the love of my life. Thank you. Dawn from Edmonton, the good luck conch for Les this morning. It also means a lot to me when somebody's sitting there, their husband is undergoing open heart surgery, and they reach out to us for a conch. You know, like that's pretty cool.
I do love the idea of the surgery going on and Charlie the Penguin just kind of echoing in the background.
Yeah. Like just
That whole maniacal...
the doctor doing the surgery, the only song that relaxes him is time for surgery.
Forceps, please.
Pin strap.
What's the BP?
Pin strap. Awareness month is upon us.
Nurse, can you turn it up a bit?
Charlie the Penguin. Chin strap penguin.
Look, your husband's going to be in good hands, I would think. So best of luck, Don. And let us know how it goes. If you are watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. That would be terrific. The Oilers back in action finally. Will the layoff kill them again? This team is just no good after 2 days rest.
Slow starters, we've been saying, right?
Yeah, that's what you have to be concerned about.
Sabres getting smoked last night. They had their...
I know.
It's,
Hey,
wow.
to
a team that had lost 6 straight.
how many did Detroit score? 7?
Yeah. Patrick Kane, 5 points.
The Edmonton Oilers can't get a goal from a forward against the Buffalo Sabres. And the Detroit Red Wings go out and Patty Kane
of all people,
at the tail end of his career.
Hold my milk.
5 points, and Detroit smokes him, puts 7 in the back of the Sabres net. Pathetic. Where's that one? I got that here, don't I? Yeah.
Pathetic. You are pathetic.
Yes. You can text us anytime. That'll get you into the Paris Jewelers inbox. Paris Jewelers, West Edmonton Mall, Kingsway, Londonderry, Sherwood Park Mall, St. Albert's Center, or, of course, one great website, parisjewelers.com. Buy now, and with the flexible payment options, you might not have to pay for a calendar year, which is kind of nice. And, of course, the text of the day today. And, get creative with it. Plus, what day is it? It's a game day.
Game day.
Game day, which means there's that fantastic deal at A&W. Mama Burger and fries for just $5 at A&W. Not to mention the Stacker Burger. Single $3.99, double $4.99, triple $5.99. Trev, the key is when you bring up the A&W thing to throw it over. Trev, why are you wearing your jacket?
Cold in here.
Too hot?
boys.
Is it cold?
You guys have sweaters. I'm just wearing a t-shirt.
Are you feeling a little
this
bit of a
corner-
chill in here today? Or?
Oh, yeah. Well, the temperature's dropped a bit.
It's
I mean,
colder
it's,
today.
it's,
What did you say you felt in the air today when you were walking in?
Boys.
Well, it's moist. A
moist.
snowfall warning. It's going to get going here sometime this morning, apparently. And tomorrow, high -10, boys. So
A
wear a
high
sweater
of
tomorrow.
-10?
Yeah.
Does it
lower.
warm up after that?
Saturday, yeah. Tomorrow's the dead spot. Today we get the snow. Tomorrow we get the low. And then Saturday, Sunday, we start digging our way back up.
Good.
That's
I like
good.
that. I like that.
too.
That's good.
So
Yeah.
whatever. At this stage of the game, so what if it snows?
I mean,
What if
it doesn't-
cold
it's
for
gonna
an-
be
it's
gone
gonna be,
right
You don't even
away.
have to get you keep the shovel in the garage. Like, who cares? Yeah.
Millwood's Matt Guys, can I get a conch for my niece who just had successful kidney transplant yesterday after dealing with dialysis and the like for the last 5 to 6 years of her life, and she's only 14. Oh my God. I wish there was more than a conch here, Millwoods, Matt, but that is amazing. That's an amazing story. That's, that's awesome. And hopefully everything goes smoothly moving forward. Over in the Nasty Chat today, let's slide in there. Colton says, okay, positive vibes out the yin-yang today, folks. Followed up by X-Ray J immediately. Says, I don't know. I just struggle with having any confidence in this group of Oilers as currently constructed. I feel like such a negative Nelly.
Well, X96 says 4-3 Oilers.
Well, hey. Yeah, but Ace 96 is going to be in the post-game show after, even if they win 4-3, complaining about Skinner the whole time. Come on, Ace. Come on, Ace.
We're working our way there.
I do like Colton being like, positive vibes only. And the very next reply over the chat is X-Ray J just being like, I struggle with having any confidence. And X-Ray J says, I feel like such a negative Nelly. X-Ray J, you don't feel like a negative Nelly. You are a negative Nelly when it comes to this team right now.
It's like the wind chill, right? If it feels, therefore, you are.
I guess.
Yeah.
Jimbo says, 11 degrees in God's country today. What's God's country?
Anywhere you want it to be.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. Dex is in and says, guys, how about a conch for that kidney donor for Millwood's Matt's niece? What is that?
Yeah. I
spied this yesterday on the Valley Line platform.
We'll take it.
Word of the mouth about EST is spreading. Library Pat. So where was this? This was on the Valley Line platform. There was Global TV, and this is something hosted by Dustin Nielsen.
Sure, right?
That's got to be the Bids for Kids.
Yeah.
I'm not hosting anything else. They must be running some ads on Global. That's got to be it. Yeah, by the way, if you'd like to join us, let's make this a bit of an AM Nasty event. Tuesday, April 8th, after work. Swing on by, Bellinskona. Get your tickets right now. KidSportBidsForKids.com. That is KidSportBidsForKids.com. It'll be myself. It'll be the Ford brothers. They're twins. How will I tell them apart? We'll get into that.
That's not going to get old, is it?
Yeah, the fourth member of the panel is going to be somebody who's really good at telling twins apart. That way I can go to that guy down at the end and be like, hey, who's who again? But we're going to hopefully add at least one more person to the panel as well. But a little hot stove style setup. Mark Connolly's going to be hosting it, so you know it's a good event. Then he'll throw it over to me and the Ford boys, and we'll have a good conversation. You come on down. There's a huge appy buffet. You have a couple beverages. You hang out for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Throw some bids in, some cool silent auction bids. And then you, it was actually this event. One of the silent auction bids was me going to Ruth's Chris for dinner, and the dinner ended up being with the four bald guys.
This is the one.
That's the one. This is where it all started.
You can be part of a story like that. Ruth's Chris.
Yeah, so it's like after a Tuesday at work, what else you got going on Tuesday? At Tuesday, you're just like, finally tomorrow's the middle of the week. So you might as well pop by, have a couple bevies.
Yeah.
Check out the Ford brothers. Say hi to them. I mean, it'll be a very intimate situation.
Exchange a couple of tombstone quotes with yourself,
it's
right?
Tuesday, right? Yeah. I guess see what the Ford boys think of Charlie the Penguin. Yeah. Mind you, it's April then. Charlie the Penguin will be in hibernation for the next 11 months.
Fly south.
It's going to be really exciting to take Charlie the Penguin out of his case next March 1st.
Well, what do we? We'll have to construct something, eh?
Yeah, there's got to be something we can put him in. Yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun. Anyway, all the funds raised will go to Kids Sport, so all kids can play. That's their grant program. So yeah, make plans to join us Tuesday, April 8th. www.kidsportbidsforkids to get your tickets today. Anyway, that must be what was being advertised on Global, I think.
Bones with a positive text in the Paris Jewelers inbox.
Go pee your pants, Jay. Positive vibes only. Maybe a classic, legendary. He's in the song, for goodness sakes.
Yeah.
You know what? We'll play the Nasty Bash song coming up here around 6:30
for
today.
Totem.
For Totem Outfitters. Used gear, new gear, trade and consign at Totem Outfitters, sponsoring all of our goal songs and the like right now. Shaggy and St. Albert. The Oilers may slip out of a playoff spot, Canucks and Flames could both pass them. Shaggy, I'll just throw this out there right now. If both the Canucks and Flames pass the Oilers in the standings, I will eat whatever anybody wants from a food perspective. It has to be food. We can't be like, Dusty, you should eat the paper like Terry Jones. It has to be food related. Okay? If the Oilers fall behind the Canucks and Flames in the standings, you want me to eat a squid? I'll eat a squid. It doesn't matter. Like, there's no way they're falling behind both the Canucks and Flames. I hope. Fingers crossed. I don't think I mean,
Well,
I'm that confident. One of them, probably not, but maybe. But both, I mean, I don't know.
Canucks aren't going to.
As he says, Shaggy says 7 points out. Yeah, but 7 points is a lot to make up. Like, the others would have to continue to suck, and the Flames or the Canucks would have to get on a heater. Box Pounder says, Prairie Oysters it is. Sure, there we go. Let's do that. If the Oilers fall behind both the Canucks and Flames in the standings at the end of the season, okay, this is end of the season.
Okay, yeah. Make sure you have your stipulations
This is
nailed
not
down here. Yeah,
no, they're behind them briefly early April.
Yeah.
This is, they have to be behind them at the end of the season. I will eat the testicle from a prairie. That's what I will do.
While listening to Prairie Oyster, we'll have it playing in the background.
Well, of course.
It'll be the full deal.
I mean, that's the only bit. What's the best Prairie Oyster song?
That's how the Achy Breaky podcast returns.
That's how it returns. And I'll only eat it on the Achy Breaky podcast. Prairie Oyster songs.
They're
What's
a great
the best
band,
one?
man. That's a full catalog. Tell you that.
Oh, look at this one. Canadian Sunrise.
Yeah.
Love to see it. Play me some honky tonk. Black Eyed Susan. Anyway, I'd find something there.
Well, you won't need to because it's not going to happen.
Am I being overconfident? You're the in-house Oilers fan. Are you worried about both the Canucks and Flames catching them?
Oh, I'm not worried. I am not worried. But if that does happen, I'm not talking for like 2 weeks.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, I'll cry like so hard and I'll be done with
We
sports.
should do that on the air. We should have you crying on the air like a little child.
I'll be done, man. Like, I don't want to, if that, it's not going to happen. So I'm not even going to entertain it. You should be fine. You'll be good. There's no way. 7 points with how much games played or how much games are left. Yeah. Like, they'd have to go through an even worse side.
I like how you said it had to be end of the season and not April.
It's the end of the year.
Insinuating that it could happen as soon as April. I mean,
I'm not a madman.
No.
I mean, but if they're behind both of those teams in the standings, first of all, Knobloch would probably be fired. Staff would be head coach. It's where it's trending anyway. And I would be sitting here eating prairie oysters. One prairie oyster.
listening to Prairie Oyster.
Listening to prairie oyster. Yeah. I think I can do it. I mean, I grew up on a farm.
You'll be good.
If I can't eat a prairie oyster, what type of farm kid am I?
Yeah.
Right.
I'll help you through it if it happens. I'll pat your back.
You know what I wouldn't mind eating? One of those cashew apples.
I was thinking about those last
Highly
I know,
toxic.
so was I. I asked Tommy about it yesterday, too. I said, Tommy, you know about this cashew thing? He had no idea. So it wasn't like everybody else in the world knows that cashews come from the stem of a cashew apple.
No.
But I do want to, I'm going to have to go on YouTube and look at the process of a cashew being made. You know, the harvesting of this apple. How do they get it out? How do they sort it properly? You know, you can always find those things about sorting potatoes, those automatic machines
Yeah.
that sort potatoes. You're like, wow, this is very neat.
how it's made.
How do they know the sizes and stuff? Like, yeah, I want to get into all of that stuff.
Maybe we'll have to ask Reed later on this morning if he's allergic to them as well.
Yeah. So yesterday,
Just to kind of
Technically,
clear
it's
that
a
up.
fruit.
before I went home yesterday, I did have to stop at the grocery store to pick up some stuff for supper. And I walked past the aisle with like all the bags of nuts and stuff. And I saw cashews. And that's when I thought, oh man, we didn't ask Reed if he was allergic to cashews.
Leading question today, probably.
So yeah, we'll have to, actually, you're right. He's on today
Yes.
at
that was
7:45.
the-
So yeah, that makes sense. I see what you're saying there.
Yeah.
Dex is in and says, plot twist, Dusty loves prairie oysters and is always trying to get people to try them afterwards. Imagine if I put it in my mouth, I'm like, actually, this is one of my favorite foods.
Just like those caramel eggs. You just like having it sitting in there.
Yeah,
eh?
put it in, I pop it. Ah! If you want to see a human puke on the air, let's just see if the Canucks and Flames can pass the Edmonton Oilers. Daryl Adams says if Knob gets fired, I think McDavid leaves. Too many coaches. Man, how can McDavid leave? They've brought in his agent and handed the keys to the organization to him. And Knobloch was his junior coach. Like, they have catered to everything Connor McDavid has ever wanted. If he leaves, it's the weakest move of all time. I'm sorry.
Lauren's opening a bar downtown.
Shit, they're not leaving. She's been doing videos about it.
Give me a break.
Like, come on.
That's the tell.
Yeah, what is it called again?
It doesn't matter.
It's a fancy name.
It doesn't really matter.
It's a fancy name.
Laying down the roots.
Yeah.
That's what's happening here. But let's not go. Remember, positive.
If McDavid leaves, I'll eat 2 prairie oysters. And if they leave and Lauren decides that she has to lease out where the restaurant is going to be, we'll rent it and move in there.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yes.
Specialized in prairie oysters. In a nod of acknowledgement, right?
That's a good one. All right, let's lay out the show for you today. Morning announcements coming up. We'll take a look at the NHL and the association last night. We'll get to, I think we have a question that came in last night on Twitter about Vladdy. Yeah, we'll get to that at 3 questions.
You sure?
Yeah, I don't want to know. I don't want to go there before.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I don't want to go there before. So the fan zone for fansfirst.ca. Take a look at the line combinations. Matthias Janmark did not skate yesterday.
Skinner top 6.
Top
12.
I still like people yesterday who were like, Skinner's a placeholder for Janmark, and when he gets in, he'll slide up and play with Draisaitl.
Hello, where's that mitt?
Yeah, Trev's got the mitt.
Yeah.
And we do have Scalding Hot Takes coming up a little bit later on. Anyway, the Fan Zone 6:30. Luke Gazdick will be by just after 7 o'clock today. We'll build an EST parlay to see if these guys can win a bloody hockey game for us. I got beef around 7:30 today. Reed Wilkins will join us. Special anniversary today for Reed Wilkins. I don't know if he's been talking about it on the Reed Wilkins show, so I don't want to spoil it too much. If he... Like, I don't want to be like...
But we will.
Yeah. Well, when Reed comes
we'll
on,
do it first on our show. Yeah.
Yeah, when Reed comes on, we'll bring it up. But people might already know what's up there. Kind of easy trivia for Mr. Mike's. 3 questions too many for the great staff at Park Mazda. Scalding hot takes still to come. The GCL Diesel Orange and Blue Breakfast, Marmot Basin Snow Report, and the wrap for William Huff. So we've got a jam-packed show today. Morgan is in with the ultimate freak out. Okay, guys, here's what happens. The Oilers fall to 32nd in the league. McDavid and Draisaitl demand getting out. They make Matthias Janmark captain and give him $14 million per year. Dubnyk comes back as the starter next year.
Gotta love the 6 o'clock hour. Hey.
GSB says, why are people freaking out? We're second in the division. The team's about to enter playoff mode. We're going to be okay.
Well, I think they're just commenting on the recent trend, which is fair too.
Yeah, I mean, the one question, did we talk about it yesterday? Maybe it was on the oil stream. Oh, we'll save it for the fan zone. Let me just write this down. We'll go fan zone question there.
I think you just write fan zone.
No, you just can't read the rest of it.
Oh, okay.
I wrote, and maybe I'll sing that song a little bit when we come.
You got your line?
Hey?
I love your notes.
Yeah, I can't read my notes.
Maybe we'll get to that.
We're going to be sitting here at 6:30. 5 minutes from now, I'm going to be like, man, what did I write down? What was I going to talk about? Ryan from SK says, if Janmark is in and on Leon's line, I'm shutting off the TV.
Hey.
Trevor will be crying. All right, keep the text messages rolling in. Let's dive into your morning announcements today for 100.3 The Bear, Edmonton's best rock. Yukon and McCord every single morning. And, of course, the lovely Jess Jackson on the way home in the afternoon. $36 likes away from changing 100 here on a game day. Oilers and Devils tonight. So if you're watching on YouTube, hammer the thumbs up for us. Yukon and McCord chatted with them earlier this morning before we went on the air. And we were talking about Matthias Janmark. And then they said, is that the one that Jess refers to as the Viking? And like, so my question for you, Rick.
Well, he could be a Viking too, just not one of the lead men. You
No,
know, he's the guy that carried the cart, like he's pulling the cart.
He's the guy in the Viking movie who gets killed 7 minutes in.
Sure, yeah.
But do you think you and McCord know that, or are they just playing stupid, or are they actually stupid?
That's a good question.
I do-
Because
that's
that's
the
their
thing.
little game, right? That's what they they do all the bits. FM radio. You've done FM. You know what it's like, eh?
Back in the day, we did a lot of
Yeah.
crazy FM bits.
Yeah. Toilet flush.
Ryan from SK following up with if Janmark is on Leon's line, I'm shutting off the TV and I'm yelling, I've had it with this dump. Straight up Dumb and Dumber. That's kind of fun. Oh, this is a fun game I wanted to play today too. I talked about this on the Crack Pack last night. By the way, great guy.
how'd that
You
go?
popped
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Great Crack Pack break last night. We did 6 boxes of Upper Deck Series 2 and a clear cut, which is just one card. It's like $130. You get one card. Anyway, so we did this last night, and we got another Macklin Celebrini Young Gun.
Nice.
And actually, you know who had the Sharks? Patty from Brewhouse.
Oh, yeah.
So
and Jet was watching
and Jet,
too.
his son was watching.
Good stuff.
So they got the Macklin Celebrini Young Gun. Then they also pulled the Macklin Celebrini Canvas Program of Excellence, like his World Junior Canvas, which was huge. Then we pulled this other card that I'd never seen before out of Upper Deck called Incarnations. And it's like this, like a fancy portrait of Jack Hughes. And one of the guys in the chat, Dan out of Winnipeg, he's like, I've opened up 2 cases and I haven't seen that card yet, like that type of card. So that was a good hit. And then in the clear cut, which can be a dud when it's just one card, we got a Leo Carlson rookie auto. So it was an awesome break last night.
Is that portrait? Is it just like him in a shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
like Jack Hughes. Yeah. It's pretty cool looking. Anyway, I did say last night in the Crack Pack that I was going to drop an Easter egg on the show today. I'm going to do something during the show today that is from a movie. If you can see me doing it and you know the movie, text in and let us know.
It'll be visual for all the listeners.
It'll be a visual. It'll be a visual.
Head over to YouTube.
It'll be a visual. So hop over to YouTube and watch. There's no prize here. Although there could be, I guess. Maybe I can find something.
Can I guess too?
Yeah, Trevor, you can guess too.
Okay,
But
thank you.
you can't win the prize. Even though there's no prize.
Okay.
You can't even win the fake prize. Actually, you know what? I will do this because it started on the Crack Pack. If you're the first person to realize what the Easter egg that I'm doing from a movie is today, I'll give you $50 in Crack Pack credit. So if you're a Crack Pack member, yeah, I mean,
not
it's
bad.
basically a free break. We'll get you into a break. All right, so just watch the show throughout the day. You'll see if you notice something that's happening.
Once
that
again,
you're
though, we're
"That's
not
from a movie."
eligible to win.
It's a pretty deep pull. I'm not going to lie. You guys aren't eligible to win the Crack Pack credit. Sorry. Anyway, we'll get to that.
I'll have to find a mule who wants to go halfers.
Did you guys check out any of the Canucks and Flames last night?
Watch the third period.
I
no
watched
tea.
the second period. It was a good game. Like
I guess,
that
I watched the
was
second period.
that was an entertaining hockey
That
game.
was good.
Yeah. I enjoyed watching the Canucks and Flames of the second period that I watched last night.
Had a lot to play for, it looked like.
They did. Yeah, they're right. I think that looked like a playoff game.
yeah.
Now here's the question. Who would you rather see in the playoffs? Not play against, because you smoke either of them. But who would you rather see in the playoffs? The Canucks or the Flames? Dun, 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 dun.
Well, neither really.
I know.
Like
But if you had to see one of them make the
playing
playoffs,
against,
who would
I
you
think
want
it'd be
to
much easier for the Oilers to get past. Well,
They're going to win either series. I'm
it's
talking
just
about
the Flames goaltending is one that is something that could be a bit of an X factor-ish come playoff time.
from a fan of the National Hockey League, though. Flames or Canucks in the playoffs? 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999, or over in the nasty chat. What do you got?
I think if you're a fan of the NHL, it'd be the Blues in an American market. I just
Yeah, I mean, I guess. But Trev, if you had to.
Definitely the Flames.
Flames?
Yeah.
I'd say
Easy.
Flames too.
Easy.
Yeah, I think I'd say Flames too.
Yeah. After last year, I have no time in day for Canucks fans. I could care less about them. I don't want to see the Canucks in the playoffs ever. Just because they're just so annoying.
That's what Mills Matt says. He goes, Flames because the Vancouver fans were so obnoxious
Yeah.
and toxic.
Very toxic.
Daryl Adams over in the chat says, between the Flames and Canucks, I picked the Jets. The Jets We'll certainly be there. All right, coming up, we've got a sports update right now for the Bids for Kids event with Kids Sport. On the other side, the Fan Zone for fansfirst.ca. Have you lost faith in the Oilers as a Stanley Cup contender? X-Ray J, we know your answer. You don't have to answer this. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Have you lost faith in the Oilers as a cup contender this year? 780-218-9999. Let's get to the sports update right now with Lieutenant Eric. More look at those line combinations for tonight and answers to the question, have you lost the faith? That's coming up next.
Game day as the Oilers road trip continues tonight against the Devils. It's one of 9 games around the NHL. You can join Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas for the GCL Diesel pre- and post-game shows. Coverage begins 4:30 here on EST. Elsewhere tonight, the Golden Knights visit Columbus while the Kings are at home to the Caps. 4 games last night. Red Wings snapping a 6-game slide. They defeat the Sabres 7-3. Canucks topping the Flames 4-3 in a shootout. Canucks now even on points with Calgary having played 1 less game. Dylan Guenther, he had the winner midway through the third as Utah clipped the Ducks 3-2, and Brandon Montour scored 4 seconds into overtime, lifting the Kraken over the Habs 5-4. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 34 points as the West Best Thunder beat the Celtics 118-112. Raptors 118-105 over the Sixers, and the Nuggets, they fall on home court 115-95 to the Timberwolves. In one of 5 games tonight, the Lakers are in Milwaukee to battle the Bucks. Oil Kings with a 3-2 loss to the Hitmen yesterday afternoon in front of close to 18,000 down at Rogers Place. Oil Kings back on the ice Saturday night against the Prince Albert Raiders. An opening round action at the Players' Championship also is just getting underway. Join Dustin Nielsen, Trey and Tyrell Ford and other special guests Tuesday, April 8th at the Bell&Scona for Edmonton Sports Talk Bids for Kids, presented by GS Construction. A live on-location show featuring a delicious appetizer buffet, silent auction, 50-50, and more. Tickets are limited. Find them today at www.kidsportbidsforkids.com.
The Nasty Bash was awesome, so let's remember it with this song. The EST on Corey B, tattoos still looking strong. 6:30 wasn't working, so old Smash said so long. AM Nasty C and Frazier yelling, turn your headlights on. 1, here comes the 2 to the 3 to the 4. Tommy met a new girl heading out the door. Normology's stripping, his shirt just hit the floor. Oh my, good lord. Someone poured me birdie booze on a shot ski. Now you know Reed Wilkins was a mystery. X-Ray J's pants got a little pissy. Everybody at the bash was a nasty. Everybody at the bash was a nasty. Everybody at the bash was a nasty. 6 o'clockers right and left. Let me pour it on your head. Moment we won't soon forget. Hey Norm, Fergie's back perhaps let us in. Made the last table again. Wrote it out till 2 a.m. Oh Lord. 1, here comes the 2 to the 3 to the 4. Tommy met a new girl heading out the door. Normology's stripping, his shirt just hit the floor. Oh my, good lord. Someone poured me birdie booze on a shot ski. Now you know Reed Wilkins was a mystery. X-Ray J's pants got a little pissy. Everybody at the bash was a nasty. Everybody at the bash was a nasty. Everybody at the bash was a nasty.
Oh, Nasty Bash. Can't wait for this year's Nasty Bash 3.0. Last year's Nasty Bash will be tough to top, though. Norman, a combine. Getting the old baptism, the 6 o'clocker lager baptism. That was a big one.
Yep.
The reveal of Reed Wilkins under the head of Smash. Also a
With
big
his
moment.
folks in attendance.
With his parents there.
Just a sweet
thinking,
time.
what the hell
Yeah.
is Reed getting himself into? Turns out that dude's an absolute legend, and he's going to join us around 7:45 this morning. All right, you can text
Tommy's
us.
public flirtation.
Tommy's public flirtation. The kids still love singing that line. Tommy met a new girl headed out the door. In the end, it didn't end well.
Yeah, you know.
Classic Tommy.
Can't have them all.
All right, Gazdik's coming up just after 7 o'clock, and Reed Wilkins will be by around 7:45. I told the boys I woke up this morning. I didn't have any hot takes, but
Neither did I.
I banged out 5 quickly.
Yeah.
And today was just one of those mornings where the takes were flowing. So I don't mind. I don't mind my status heading into this thing. I don't have a take for a takeoff yet.
I have 2 finished and 2 unfinished.
Okay.
Then I don't have a 5th nor a takeoff.
Nor a takeoff take.
It's always good to have one in the pocket.
I can't handle going to overtime again today.
He won't take another one to overtime. Or will he?
He better not. I mean, it's too much. Ruined my whole day after that. The pressure and the adrenaline.
If it does go, you'll have a take 4 seconds in, though. Eh?
Now, Trev wins in overtime. He had that take prepared.
4 seconds in OT. I won that one, Dusty.
Did you guys see this?
I just said
You mentioned it. I didn't know about it till you said it. Seattle won 4 seconds into overtime against Montreal last night with a defenseman scoring. If you go back and look, right off the draw, it was 3 wide at the line for the faceoff, and Seattle just poked it ahead. Montour jumped the man who was next to him, walked in and sniped upstairs. Over 4 seconds. Have we looked? Is that the fastest overtime winner?
I think it was tied.
Tied?
Yeah.
I don't know how you could do it any quicker. Like, I don't think you can score in 3, 2, or 1 second to start overtime. I mean, unless you have a faster skater
McDavid,
chasing the
McKinnon.
puck down, maybe but yeah, I mean, that's a backbreaker if you're Montreal. Like, hey, boys, let's go overtime. Oh, no, it's done. That sucks.
The coach is just drawing up plays.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, this is what we're going to do here.
All right, 780. Yeah.
Okay, well, never mind.
The one thing we can't allow them to do is get a breakaway 4 seconds in. Don't worry, coach. That's ridiculous.
I don't
And
waste any
that's what
time, though.
happens.
I mean, you kind of just get the hell out
whatever.
of here. Like, it's...
I'm just watching.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Didn't draw it up properly. All right. So Gazdic will join us just after 7. He's 20 minutes away from Pro-Am Sports. He played for the Oilers and the Devils. So if anybody knows both sides of this thing, it's Luke Gazdic.
The Gazdic Bowl.
Yeah, he will. Yeah, that's what I've got written down here. Gazdic Bowl. Yeah, I wrote
Type
that down
down
too,
so you can read
Type it down so I can read it.
Understand,
Obviously.
yes.
All right, let's dive into the fan zone for fansfirst.ca. By fans, for fans, no fees. No fees at Fans First.
Back home to host Utah next week.
Got to get tickets for that one. Utah fighting for their playoff lives. And who knows, depending on how this road trip goes, maybe the Oilers are fighting for their playoff lives too.
2 points back of those other teams we were
A
discussing.
classic 4-point game, maybe.
Yeah, well,
Anyway, if you want to get the tickets there cheaper than all of the other reselling sites, you do it at fansfirst.ca. All right, the question was, Corey B, tied fastest goal in overtime history. Makes sense. The question was, have you lost faith in the Oilers as a cup contender? That would be somewhat understandable. Thinking that they're not going to make the playoffs is probably over panic. And I don't think you need to get there just yet. But have you lost faith in them as being a cup contender with the likes of Dallas, Winnipeg, Florida, Washington? Can they not recover to get back into that group, in your opinion? 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. If you're over on YouTube, smash the thumbs up for us. 16 likes away from 100. Shaggy and St. Albert, I knew your answer was going to be a yes. Let's let other people play here. This one is, it says, lost all faith. This is a text. No handle on this guy. Lost all faith. 97 seems like a shell of the guy from last year. The team, except for number 29, all playing below last year, and goaltending is very inconsistent. So, unnamed texter says he's
not wrong
He
there.
has
I
lost
mean,
his faith. And he does
not for
make
losing
some
the
valid
faith, but he
points.
makes some points. Yeah.
Yeah. Jason in Leduc says, I lose faith. Then they go and beat Dallas. I don't know what's real anymore.
Can't see the line, can you, Russ? Right?
Library Pat this morning, 2780-218-9999. I have not lost faith in the Oilers as a cup contender. Yes, I'm saying there's a chance.
A cup favorite?
Cup favorite for sure. They're out the window.
Right.
You
But
cannot
I
view
think-
this.
I
Even
think-
the betting odds don't have the Oilers as the cup favorite. I
True,
think, right now.
yeah. But I think that was mentioned or discussed maybe earlier at points in the season. But I think you can still say a contender. I think if you outside of a wild card spot in the playoffs, you should be considered a contender.
Deutschland Dangler says, I don't know. I'm okay with disappointment this year if it means that McDavid still signs an extension here in Edmonton. Jeff over in the chat. Hopefully, Jeff, you've subbed to our channel and given us a thumbs up. Definitely not a cup contender. RCN 97 seems like a man who's been beat down by married life. Look, if McDavid looking just like normal McDavid is due to being married, you might as well trade him before he has kids. Because if you can't handle a year of being married without kids, you are effed when the little ones start to arrive. Simple as that. Bones says, I stand with George Michael. You got to have faith. Got to have faith. I prefer the Limp Bizkit version, which I believe is the original.
I thought that was going to be an Arrested Development joke.
Oh, yeah, George Michael. I really like that Limp Bizkit Faith.
It's the whole album, $3 Bill, y'all, is arguably, there's a hot take, better than Significant Other.
Better than...
With the Nookie and all that.
But what about the follow-up after that one? The
After Significant
chocolate
Other?
starfish and the hot dog flavored water.
The shark gets jumped then.
I didn't mind that album either, but it wasn't.
Please.
But so
No,
you said $3 bill.
$3
even better than the first
Bill,
one.
y'all, is better than Significant Other. Sorry.
A Significant Other was
Significant Other was
played
great,
a lot
right?
in my 1999 Ford Taurus.
Absolutely. It was a groundbreaking album.
Yeah, but you like the other one for? I had all three.
I did.
I had those three.
You had $3 Bill, y'all.
I mean, I kind of liked.
It's a lot more raw.
I liked Limp Bizkit. Like Limp
Hey.
Bizkit was about as hard as I would get.
Fair enough.
You know, like
Yeah.
that's just. I was just like, man, look at me. I'm listening to. I did it all
look
for
at
the
me,
nookie.
yeah.
Come on. I thought they were Linkin Park for the longest time.
Well, you had your Adidas 3 stripes, your khakis, your backwards Yankees
Actually,
hat.
I'm not gonna lie. Like
Everybody did. Don't lie.
I
we all
didn't
did.
mind. Fred Durst wore big cargo pants, which I liked,
And what else did he have?
and big T-shirts. He had a chin strap. Like, come on, man. Like, I had some time for Fred Durst in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Sure. Everybody did.
Yeah.
Whoever says they didn't just lie.
roll. Like,
No, that's
rolling.
No.
Come on.
My way.
My generation.
Yeah.
We don't give an F in.
Yeah,
we
that's-
won't ever give an F till you give an F to my generation. I used to go to what was the bar in Lethbridge? I remember one night my buddy dislocated his finger because we were moshing to a Limp Bizkit song.
Okay.
It was a different breed down there, man. I'm not
Sure.
gonna lie. Yeah, sorry. I don't know why I got sidetracked here, but I was a pretty big fan of Limp Bizkit back in the day.
Yeah,
I'll have
first
to
Family
fire that up
Values
here a
tour.
little
The Family Values tour. That was a great collection. Corn Biscuit, Orgy, Ramstein, Incubus.
All right, 780-218-9999. That is where you can chime in here. What were we talking about again? Oh, yeah. Have you lost? Oh, yeah. Man, you know what? I love that song, and I really like the Limp Bizkit version of that song. I mean, it starts
and
Fred
I
Durst doing that
profess
first part, and
$3
then-
Bill, y'all, is a better album than Significant Other.
Faith. Really? You think that's what about the other one? Chocolate starfish and hot dog flavored water. What do you think about that one?
Get it out of
Yeah,
here.
but rolling.
Get it outta here.
Okay. That was a glitch in the Matrix. And
6 o'clock hour.
the Sentinels are on their way. Trev, get us back on track here. Have you lost all of your faith in the Edmonton Oilers as a Stanley Cup contender? What do you think?
No.
You haven't.
I haven't.
Really?
Yeah, no. It's all it's going to take is 1 week of solid hockey. You know, they string along maybe 5-6 games of like solid hockey, and then people are going to be like, "Oh gosh."
So
this
that's
team's
where
legit.
it starts for you. So you still have faith in them being able to put together
Yeah,
like
there's
a
still time.
5 or 6 game winning streak or 5 of
And
6
I
or
think
something.
that'll go a long way with myself, with a lot of the media, with the nasties, and I think it'll convince people, okay, this team is legit. Because what I saw, I mean, you asked in December, like I remember it vividly. You were like, is this team better than last year's team? And I was convinced. I'm like, yes. Like even
And
though
at the time, they did look like it, didn't they?
yes, there is games that they just took. They did full control against the Rangers, against the Minnesota Wild. They didn't have games like that last year. Even in their 16-game winning streak, they got by the hair of their chin on some of those games. They shouldn't have won. And so I've seen them play good. I've seen it. I've watched it. We all have. And what they're going through right now is kind of a mystery. No one knows. But I still have faith. And all it's going to take is, you know, a 10-game stretch. If they go 8-2, 7-3, something like that, it'll have everyone back, including myself. So that's what I'm looking for.
You're what the city needs today, Trev.
The voice.
You're a positive Pete today.
Oh, well.
That's what you are.
Ah, thank you.
Bruce Burns over in the on the Paris Jewelers inbox, where you could win A&W text of the day. Oilers are in the same spot in the standings they were last year. I know there's frustration with their performance, but they are still a contender. They are second in the division. If you have lost faith, you don't deserve to cheer for their inevitable playoff success. I like Bruce kind of drawing that line. Like if you're bailing now, you're not allowed to cheer when they're in the conference final.
Turn in your card.
Playing the Winnipeg Jets. RBM is in and says, my answer is yes, as far as has he lost the faith? My answer is yes. They're no longer a contender, but depends on who they play. Dallas is actually a decent matchup for them because they seem to play well against Ottinger, and the Stars' D isn't all that strong and wasn't addressed at the deadline. Vegas/Winnipeg/Colorado are definitely favored over them, no question. First of all, RBM, the disrespect for Cody Ceci acquisition in Dallas pre-deadline is just, I mean, that's pretty sad for a former Edmonton Oiler, RBM. I can't believe you say this.
But it is really, I mean, you mentioned the Panthers and the Capitals earlier. That's if and when you make it to the finals. And then in the finals, I mean, you know, things can happen. But out of the West, right, you're not facing all of these teams. Right? Like you'll play either Kings or whomever in the opening round.
You have to play 3 of them.
So that's all it really takes. So you're not going to have to play the Jets, the Stars, the Avalanche, and the Wild, and everybody else. So depending on how the playoffs shake out, and again, as Texter pointed out, how the Oilers match up against certain teams as opposed to others, you get a bit of a luck, you get a bit of a roll of the dice, you get a bit of matchup good faith there, and we'll see how it goes. So they're in the mix. They're again, standings wise. I think optically though, this worries people. And you were away for some time in the autumn when Will was in.
I was.
And there were times, there were mornings. Is this a playoff team? I mean, those discussions. Trev remembers this. And Will would come in and say he would laugh it off. I mean, they're gonna be fine. And that's the same type of feeling I get right now. They'll be fine. But I think the original question was faith as a cup contender. I can see how that's been shaken a bit.
Have you ever heard the version of Faith that Limp Bizkit did?
Yes, $3 Bill, y'all, which I profess is a better album than Significant Other.
Yeah, but what about Chocolate Starfish and the hot dog flavored water?
That's
really
they were done after.
But what about roll?
No,
really. All right. Well,
they also did. Woodstock, that music festival, 99. I don't know if you've heard about that one.
The whole place got torn down.
Yeah, a lot of
Creed played there.
They broke stuff.
That's a great song as well. Yeah. Break stuff. Yeah. All right. Big Uke says cup favorite, no. Contender, yes. To have lost all faith, well, this team still has studs, and lots can still play better. It's ridiculous. Life's too short to not have faith. Go Oilers!
Oh yeah,
and he's dropping one of these on us.
Let's go!
Sure. Yeah.
Blind
Faith, like Blind Melon, another '90s act.
Not familiar with him.
No.
if the Oilers go on like a 5-game winning streak between now and the end of the season, will you do the rolling thing with me? Because
No.
they got all started right here because of the Faith and the Limp Bizkit thing?
No, I don't. I'm not.
All right. Well, I thought maybe.
I don't. It's not like I don't have faith. Are they a better team than last year at this point? I know they said the same in the standings. You're looking at the standings, you're saying there they are. That's where they were last year. Everything's fine. But do you have more confidence right now in this lineup than you had last year at this time, albeit sitting in the same position in the standings?
I'll say no. Because I think speed is going to be cranked up a level in the playoffs. They've gotten older and slower than they were in the
And they
last
will be
playoffs.
getting some players injected in, which could sway your answer
yes,
some
okay,
way.
that's a fair point. Can Frederick and can Kane drag this group of softies into the fight?
Like, does that change anybody from saying this morning they don't have faith to saying yes, they do? With those ingredients into
It's a
the,
great follow-up
into the
question,
bowl,
Eric.
would that change things for you?
I worry about like the flaws of this team. I think could be more exposed in the playoffs than they are being in the regular season when they're not playing well. You know,
Yes.
like what are we talking about? They're too easy to play against. That's a death sentence in the playoffs. They're older and slower. That doesn't work in the playoffs. Like I'm worried that the main flaws of this team will be exposed even more come postseason. Unless these guys, and I'm talking like 80% of them can flip a switch. If they can all of a sudden somehow crank all those things up a level, including Skinner between the pipes, then maybe. But that's gonna have to happen. Corey B says, guys, is the Easter egg repeating the faith bit? No, that's just something that we decided to do, I guess.
Not so much visual, but audio.
yeah.
But yeah.
This text is in and says, guys, are we sure Kane is even going to play? And the answer right there would be, we're not. Actually,
Oh no,
we're not.
these are
Like,
all
yeah.
hypotheticals. Like, I mean, Frederick will. I mean, you would think the Kane question is, and if he does play, what Evander Kane are you getting? But again, hypothetically, if those ingredients are added, is that enough to push you into the faith yes category from a no?
I like their D better than last year's D, but they have too many guys playing poorly. Yeah, I mean, if Bouchard was playing better, I think that's a fair statement about liking the D more. But Bouchard was playing better last year than he's playing this year. And they still seem like they're going to run him out there 24 to 26 minutes a night. So if he can start playing better, then I would agree with their defense. Their D on paper is better than last year, but their team defense right now doesn't look as good. They suck giving up chances against the rush. They just do. But bottom 6 in the league, chances allowed against the rush. Look at the 3 goals last game. I mean, all coming off the rush. Saskatoon Muncher. Even just McDavid flipping the switch, plus Frederick injected into the lineup, and a healthy Ekholm will get this team into cup contender territory. On Kane, the jury is still out. RCN suggesting that Kane's going to stay on the LTIR through June 30th, so he can't be bought out.
God bless you, RCN.
But also, God bless you, Evander Kane. Like,
sure.
If
Yeah.
Kane is able to pull that off, you're like, man, I'm starting to think he's not a team guy.
Where's that mitt?
I've got better takes today than that.
Okay.
Let me see my takes today. What do we have? What are my categories? I've got 4 Oilers takes and 1 Stephen A. Smith take.
Oh, yes, spicy. Is coming off the heels of Belzy's rant yesterday in the Hangout, hey?
I didn't listen to it. I was
I
at
know,
my
yeah.
I did at my IHOP meeting. We didn't recap the IHOP meeting.
Still got time
So
in the
anyway,
hour.
I missed Belzy's horrible takes that he repeats every week.
Hernan was getting excited.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure it's all the same. I mean, it's the same stupid criticisms that everybody has. They're completely unjustified. Waste of time. You know what the NBA's problem is? They can't let go of Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Like anytime anything happens, it's like, oh, MJ. The dude retired like 25 years ago. You've got a ton of great star players right now. Move on. Anyway, the IHOP meeting.
Well, you're sitting here.
I'm here.
No, but I'm saying, leading up to the meeting. You got the text, right? Like we're down the block.
Oh
from
yeah,
IHOP.
yeah. This was not good. So like we're very close to IHOP.
Yeah.
The guy that I was meeting with texted me at 9:21, and the meeting was at 9:30. He texted me at 9:21. I'm prepping for Lock Shop,
You're
playing
just-
Trev in 21.
Sure.
I'm like, it's all good. I was going to leave at like 9:28 because it literally I timed it yesterday. It took me like 42 seconds to get to IHOP from here. I get a text at 9:21. He goes, "Hey, I'm here. I'm going to grab a table." I was like, "Oh man, this guy's he's a early Eddie." So I hop in the car. I whip over there, sit down. He's got coffee. They've got the coffee pots sitting there. I sit down. Go ahead, Trev. What are you going to say?
Good coffee. Really good coffee.
Great
IHOP's
coffee
got
at the
good
IHOP.
coffee, eh?
IHOP's good coffee.
I'm not familiar. Anyway, I sit down, and the waiter comes up, and he goes, "Would you like some coffee, sir? Can I get you something to drink?" And I said, "I'll get a large chocolate milk." Let's see how this goes over. Hey, like,
with straw or
no. I don't think I had a straw. No.
Okay.
So I was slurping from the cup. But then I said, "Can I get it in a coffee mug?"
Oh.
No, I didn't. It came in a glass.
Oh, regal.
And then I let him order first. It's a smooth move at a business meeting.
Yeah.
To see what was up. And he ordered the 2-egg breakfast, much healthier than what I was thinking. So he ordered the 2-egg breakfast, and I was like,
Belgian waffle, bye-bye.
and then I said, listen, I'll take a stack of pancakes and a side of bacon. Because you're not going to go to IHOP and not have bacon at least.
Yes.
Or pancakes, I guess.
They call it the IHOB.
Yeah. International House of
It's not
Bacon.
a bad idea, actually.
Hey, there should be a
spin-off.
spin-off,
I mean,
100%.
You kidding me? That's a money mine.
Anyway, so then, so I had the pancakes and bacon and the chocolate milk. Meeting I would describe as going relatively well. And I got to do more meetings at IHOP, I guess is what I'm saying, is the takeaway from this.
Yeah. I imagine at that time of morning, midweek on a Wednesday, I mean, what was the, like you go there after the church
you know
crowd
what?
on a weekend, it's packed, but.
You know, it is IHOP. It actually was relatively busy.
Is that right? Yeah. I was wondering on that.
I would like in the section we were in, I'd say 80% of the tables taken up.
Wow.
Yeah. But I mean, it's a breakfast joint. It's going to be busy in the morning. But you know, the IHOP breakfast meeting is more casual than an Earl's breakfast or Earl's business meeting, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, you're there. It's early in the day. Everybody's happy. Having breakfast. Nobody's going to be serious over breakfast. Breakfast is a very casual meal. So yeah, it was a good meeting. I'm going to start scheduling other meetings at 9:30 at IHOP.
Did you take photos of each other next to the how many pancakes tall are you?
I didn't. And then I also did this, which wasn't. I usually wouldn't do this. Like I had a meeting on Monday, and I picked up the bill for that one. This one, it's like no, but it was like 10:40. I had to get back to the office, and the waiter hadn't been around in a while, and there was no check on the table. So I did say to him, I said, "Hey, can you grab this one?" And he's like, "No problem, I got it."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, that's good to know."
Okay.
That's good to know.
I'll get one more chocolate milk, please.
I got to get back to work, but if you could drop off another chocolate milk over at the office, that would be great. Ice Cube is in. How about Zach to come here early?
I love it.
I'd love to see Dusty at a meeting with his chocolate milk blowing bubbles through a multicolored silly straw.
That's the play. Yeah.
Yeah, if they would have given me a straw, I'm sitting there blowing bubbles in the chocolate milk.
It's one
Anyway.
of those hard plastic glasses, right? Like that's.
I was a glass.
It was a glass?
And it's
Weird.
It's a legitimate place. Anyway, we'll see what comes from the meeting, but I give a double thumbs up. 5 booms. Boom.
Boom.
Boom. 5 of those stupid booms to IHOP breakfast business meetings. I think it works. And if this deal comes through, I mean, the tie-ins that we will have to this IHOP meeting will go down in history. I'll say that.
It'll be IHOD.
Yeah.
International House of Deals. You could call it. You could
I love how it's a great bit where you can just
whatever
replace it with
International House of
anything.
Hamburgers. Whatever you want.
For the Oilers conversation today, IHOF, the International House of Faith. Hey,
Limp Bizkit covered that song.
George Michael. I think it was the original was Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
Did you like the Limp Bizkit version of that song?
I did mind it. It was on $3 Bill, y'all, which was a better album than Significant Other, released in '99.
Yeah, but what about the other one, the red one,
Not at
the
all.
chocolate starfish and hot dog flavor?
Nope,
Well, you didn't like that one.
toss it out.
But it had that rolling.
You steal it from my vehicle.
Man, that's tough. All right, Luke Gazdick is on the way next from Sportsnet. He played for the Devils. He must have at least one good Devils story. Right, there must be a Devils story.
We haven't even done the putty thing yet. I mean, we're through the first hour.
I did it on the Bear this morning.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good.
They're like, it's
That's
the
where
Devils
it
tonight. I was like,
belongs,
the Devils.
El Diablo.
El Diablo. Gazdick coming up just after 7 o'clock for Pro-Am Sports. We'll have your play of the day, little EST parlay for Cool Bet. I got beef around 7:30. And the legendary Reed Wilkins, who now anchors the afternoon right here, 3 to 6, every single day with the Reed Wilkins Show. If you like our show, you'll absolutely love the Reed Wilkins Show as well. He'll be by around 7:45. Nobody got that Easter egg yet, eh?
Have you done it already?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's how into the fabric of the show it is. I'm not sure anybody
Like a
will
fine
get it.
quilt.
All right, Gazdick coming up. Let's get to the update for Nisku Glass.
Game day as the Oilers road trip continues tonight against the Devils. Edmonton looking to avenge Monday's loss to the Sabres. It'll be one of 9 games around the NHL tonight. Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, they'll get you set with the GCL Diesel pre- and post-game shows. Coverage starts at 4:30 here on EST. Other action tonight, we'll see the Kings host the Caps, while Vegas are in Columbus. Last night, Brandon Montour scoring 4 seconds into overtime. Kraken 5, Habs 4. Dylan Gunther with the winner midway through the third. Utah clipped the Ducks 3-2. Canucks topping the Flames 4-3 in a shootout. Vancouver now even on points with Calgary, having played one less game. And Patrick Kane had 5 points as the Red Wings snapped a 6-game slide with a 7-3 victory over Buffalo. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 34 as the West Best Thunder beat the Celtics 118-112. Raptors 118-105 over the Sixers. And the Nuggets, they fall at home to the Timberwolves 115-95. Lakers will visit Milwaukee tonight in one of 5 games around the association. Close to 18,000 watching on yesterday afternoon as the Oil Kings would come up short with a 3-2 loss against the Hitmen from Ice District. Oil Kings back on the ice Saturday night at home to the Prince Albert Raiders. And opening round action from the Players' Championship is underway this morning as well. Sports Update brought to you by Nisku Glass. We want to thank EST and all the listeners and viewers, and what better way than to give them a deal. Mention Edmonton Sports Talk or present your Nasty Club membership for a 10% discount on windshields, glass, or any of your window and door orders. Call us today to get that ugly broken windshield replaced or to start planning your spring renovation projects now.
What say you? Hey, nasty crew. We got the Nielsen Show flu. Well, there's nothing we can do about it. What say you? Hey, nasty crew. My wife thinks I got better things to do, but there's nothing I can do about it. We're tuning in, we're listening online. We catch up with the podcast when we fall behind. We're texting in the nasty chat, what's on our mind. 780-218-9999. No more interference from corporate interest. Just Tati and Eric and all at the back end. Like Brzezinski and Noodles, Gavdik and Gage. Maybe slip over to Cool Bet to make a little wager. We can't wait for the Monday night date. Shaggy's always on time. Tommy's always late.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Forget about the old place. Hey, we were number 1 in the text race. We don't miss all the commercial breaks, but we sure miss Nickelback today. We wanna hear some hot takes and we wanna hear Renee. Why not hold the neck up when I wanna kiss away? Beat left the tire fire and remember that name. We love every goal song, but what about Amanda Games? Macro, Rapaport, Dragger, Engineer. It ain't Christmas season, but they sound like reindeer. Button and my cousin and the tales of the North. All the program game in person, does he go on? What say you? AM Nasty Crew. We got the Nielsen Show flu. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it.
There's nothing you can do about that. AM Nasty Flu. Thank you very much for being here today. Dusty and Lieutenant Eric with you, coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio. Nielsen Show presented to you by Southfort Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot, especially in truck month. If you've been thinking about getting a new truck, or you need a new truck, or you just want to treat yourself, go see our friends at Southfort Chevrolet. It's truck month. Deeper discounts, lower interest rates on Silverados and HDs. They're going to be moving some HDs. There's no doubt about it this month. Up to 0% financing for up to 72 months on Silverado Custom and Custom Trail Bosses right now. You can text us anytime, Paris Jewelers inbox. One of those texts will win A&W Text of the Day. If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. We are 27 away from smashing through 150, setting a nice little 300-like pace today. And it is the Oilers and the Devils tonight, so we'll continue with that conversation. Hour number 2 still to come. I got beef at 7:30. Reed Wilkins around 7:45. And around 7:25 today, we'll build a little parlay for this game tonight with our partners over at CoolBet Canada. Right now, we're going to be joined by Luke Gazdic, brought to you by our great guys over at Pro-Am Sports. Go see the Cooks and Boys. They are your locally owned sports memorabilia and apparel specialists. Gear up for game day. Oilers jerseys, headwear, hoodies, and hats from Fanatics New Era 47. Mitchell & Ness in stock now, located in Edmonton at the corner of St. Albert Trail and 128th Ave, or online at proamsports.ca. Anything along those lines that you need, they've got for you there. Luke Gazdic slides in today.
The Gazdic Bowl.
The Gazdic Bowl tonight. A former Oiler and a former Devil. Can you believe it? What a day to have Luke Gazdic on the show. Gaz, how you doing, buddy?
Great, LT. It's so funny. I was going to lead with that. I really literally have the Gaz Bowl written at the top of my notes for the show tonight.
You're the second guy to say that today.
The Gazdic Bowl.
Eric goes this morning. He goes, "It's the Gazdic Bowl," and I said, "I literally have that written down in my notes."
You had it printed in your notes.
You had it too.
A whole 11 games with the Devs.
You should be dropping the puck center ice tonight. I mean,
what's up with this?
A big fail of whoever didn't plan that.
Wouldn't that be great? Have you ever have you dropped the pocket center ice like back in a junior team, or like have you gone back and done that? Have you ever done that?
No, they're still missing the jersey retirement from my junior team. Not sure if those
gotta
days
get
are
that
coming,
first.
but no, I've never had a ceremonial first puck. That's a good question, actually. I've never done that before. I've always wanted to go out there and just slam it down.
Yeah, like emphatically. Hey, like let's go.
Get him out. You're out of here. Yeah.
Gaz, you mentioned it. 11 games with the Devils. What's your best Devils story? Acquisition of it, or did you fight early, or what's your best Devils story?
Man, I have a couple. That's a good question. I mean, the acquisition's funny because they traded for Taylor Hall, right? And that was kind of a shock to the whole hockey world. And I guess Ray Sherrill called him. He asked Halsey what he needed, and he said, "Yeah, go get me Gaz."
No way.
2 days later, July 1st, I was their very first signing, 12:01.
God, that's got to have you walking big in the summer, yeah. 12:01 fantasy signing.
Good. Yeah, honestly, I was feeling good. No, I would just say, I'll get like into the weeds about hockey a little bit here. Like when I played in Edmonton, it was all very low and slow and heavier. Like breaking out of your own zone was always D to D, back to D, out the weak side. Like we had these intricate things. And I get to Jersey, and our coach, John Hines, and the way they play in the East, he's just like, buddy, D off the glass, wingers go north, get to speed. My first couple games, I'm standing there, I'm like this, like plays just going around me. I'm like, what's going on?
What league
here?
am I in right now? Like
it honestly felt like a different league of hockey. It was wild. I'd heard guys say that before, and then I got playing in it. And to be honest, like I never caught up. Like I broke my foot early, went to Albany. I was up and down a bit, basically living out of the back of my truck. And to be honest, guys, like I could never get used to the pace. The game was just so much different than it was in the West.
Do you still see that when you watch
100%.
Like the league now? Do you see that?
100%.
Yeah? Really?
The Devs have gone through 3 coaches since then, and Sheldon Keefe, I mean, I've saw him for a while in Toronto, but watch them tonight, man. Everything's north. Even Jack Hughes, like Jack's not playing tonight, but they have like a set play where Jack literally won't back check. So he'll just like lollygag through the ozone while everyone's back. They'll get a turnover and throw a stretch pass all the way back down to Jack, who's standing at the far blue line to speed. Like they're looking to go north every time. There's a couple teams that do it more than others, but I see it all. You'll see it when you watch the Metro a lot. Any like Washington, Jersey game, anything like that. Columbus plays like that a bit. It's just more go.
Speaking of acquisitions, Luke, and I guess let's just set the table before we get into the game and the state of the Oilers. But your thoughts on the deadline that it was for Edmonton, the acquisitions, the moves that were made, and perhaps in your mind weren't made. But what do you give it? I guess letter grade and your thoughts on the whole deadline it was for the Orange and Blue.
You know what? I don't know. I mean, I've been listening to so much Toronto radio over here and Deadline, so I'm not sure how the fans and you guys received it, but I'd give it a B+, A-. Like I really liked it, mostly because, you know, I have a soft spot for guys like Trent Frederick. Like, hasn't had the greatest offensive year this year, but you could play him with McDavid. You can play him on the fourth line. He'll play minutes anywhere in your lineup. You'll hit, you'll fight, has some offensive touch. I've loved his game from afar for a while. I played with Max Jones for 2 years. He was a very young kid in San Diego. So I had this whole, I don't want to say I had, but our team had this whole crop of young players in San Diego. Isaac Lundestrom, Troy Terry, Sam Steele, Josh Mahura, and Max Jones. Like, it was this whole young Ducks.
That was kind of the next wave of the Ducks. That's what they wanted those guys to be, right?
Exactly what it was. The next year they drafted Zegras, and then away you go. Jonesy was I was texting this before I go. You're the perfect guy to play bottom six. It just took him, I think it took him a while to figure that out, and still is. Like, I compare him a lot to Max Domi, who's playing here in Toronto, where I think he just gets confused with his role a little bit, just because you come up the whole way and you're a top six, you're a skill guy, you score goals, you create offense, then you get to the NHL and it's like, I'm only getting third, fourth line minutes and no special teams here. So you have to adapt. And I think it takes some guys, it takes multiple organizations. Sometimes it takes multiple head coaches for that to get through to guys' mind. And also it's putting your pride aside a bit too, and knowing like, man, like, I'm going to have to play a bit of a different role if I want to stick in the NHL. And I think he's finally found that. You've seen his last couple of games. Like I said, I was literally texting him before he got there, or as he got traded and was on his way. I'm like, man, go balls to the wall, skate, hit everything that moves. These fans will love you. They're going to put you on the fourth line. You'll play every night if you do that. They need someone like you. And he's done it great the last 2 days. You see how fast he is, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
he's way quicker than I thought he was going to be, buddy. I was like, holy smokes.
He's got tons of speed. I'd just say those are the only two things he struggled with early was health, first and foremost. He was hurt a lot early, and just a defied role. So I'm a big Max Jones guy. I think they can find some minutes for him. I think he could be a key guy. And then Jake Wallman. So you go back, I've told you guys this a bunch of times, right? You go back to your cities in the summer, wherever you're from, me, Toronto, and you have like your core group of guys you work out with and train and skate with every day. Like, Edmonton has a couple of different groups, but Jake Wallman was one of the guys for us in Toronto with our, NHL, AHL group when he was with St. Louis. Really liked the kid. He's from Armor Heights, right down the road here in Toronto. Good kid, works his tail off, especially in the summer. Way more skilled than people think. He can play both sides because he's so good with his hands. But this is the first time we're really going to get to see him play like meaningful games especially down the stretch. Like, he hasn't played competitive. I don't want to say competitive hockey. You guys know what I mean, though.
Yeah, meaningful and like playoff meaningful hockey. Like, yeah,
exactly. And I think, he ate 25 minutes the other night. I think he's looked good so far. So I only give it a B+, A- because they didn't go out and make like a huge. This wasn't Braden and Luke Shen or whatever, whoever you thought was an A+, Rantanen. But I really like the holes they filled and the guys they brought in.
Yeah, that's what I think. That was the general consensus was like, you like what they did. You would have liked to have seen them do a bit more. We haven't seen Frederick yet. You said you like him. Where do you think he fits the best on this group?
Well, Nuge is struggling. You think he I wonder if they'd ever try him on the first line. See what would give him. I think that's where he is. I'd probably slot him in a third line. Move Janmark down to the fourth. So what would that give you? Janmark in the middle of Perry and Jones. You'd have Brownie with Frederick and Rico, and then your top six that leaves Pods. I don't love Pods in the top six. I haven't been loving Pods in the top six.
He's not shooting it enough, man. Like, he's
maybe. I mean, how many chances? I know you like Skins. Maybe you just put Skins in that 2-hole with Leon and Arvidsson, and then hopefully Nuge gets out of his slump playing with Connor.
It does look like that's where Skinner's going to play tonight, or at least that's where he skated yesterday. He might not finish there tonight, but we'll see if they can take advantage of it. It looked like they were going to run back that Skinner, Draisaitl, Arvidsson line that they started the year with. And, guys, we haven't even kind of got to the overall
Who's the best? Yeah. Hey, sorry, I want to ask you, who's Leon's best wingers down the stretch here? Like, who do you guys see on his? Like, I think you have to make Arvidsson work. Like, I think that was the plan, signing him in the summer. So I don't.
They're
nowhere
trying
else
to,
he
right?
fits.
Like they've got him locked in there pretty good. I mean, they're trying to make that work. Man,
and just
I think-
Pods has kind of dropped off a bit for me. You can offensive ceiling is key to just take off, but you can see there's a bit of an offensive ceiling, right?
You know what I would do, and it's probably because nobody in the bottom 6 is really pushing. Like you're like, man, you got to give this guy more of a look. With maybe the exception of Corey Perry, but Corey Perry's making his impact in his 12 minutes.
yeah.
I probably wouldn't touch that.
Yeah.
I would probably just give this Skinner, Arvidsson, Draisaitl thing a 5-6 game run
Give it a
here and
try.
see if it actually could click, right? Like you haven't seen that yet. So
I would love them to give Jeff just a cup, like a string of games here. Like you guys know, I've told you this before. I understand I played a different role than Jeff, but coming in and out of the lineup is one of the hardest things to do in the NHL and try to be successful. And especially when you score and get taken out, which happened for him twice. Like I definitely wouldn't be thrilled about that, but give him a run of games. You're exactly right. Give him a run of games and let him get a little comfortable.
That's why you can't see him getting that run, though, as you just mentioned, though. I don't know what else. I know that there was some defensive questions or vulnerabilities that the coaching had with him.
yeah, but
earlier.
he's been a plus player
I
since
know.
January.
So
1st,
I mean, if I don't know what it's going to take.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Guys, overall, like in general, with the like they lose to Philly, they come home, they lose to Anaheim, then they beat Dallas, and they look great for 40 minutes. Third period wasn't great, and then we saw what happened earlier this week against Buffalo. How do they get out of this funk? Like we were talking yesterday on Oil Stream, like are they just too easy to play against right now? And how do you flip that switch, I guess, if you're this team? And do you think that's what they need to do?
To me, they just change their style too much against the strength of their opponent. They play down to the level of these, I almost call them crappy teams. These are still some of the best players in the world. I don't want to disparage anybody, but the positive for me and really the only most important thing is how are they playing against the best teams? And whenever they do that, they have the tendency to step their game up. And Dallas was the huge test for me on Saturday. I was like, this team, I'm talking about the Oilers, is either going to get absolutely steamrolled here at home on a Saturday night, or they're going to show up and match and exceed the level of pace that the Stars bring. And they did exactly that. And that's like, for me, I'm like, okay, they're good. They're still the same old team. And then they play these crappy teams and you get down to the pace and the skill of the opponent. And it's like, it's a really bad habit that a couple teams in the league have, a couple good teams in the league have. I've told you the parallels between the Leafs and the Oilers before. The Leafs do the same thing. They go and play Monday, lost 3-2. And it's like, what are you guys doing here? That should be an automatic 2 points. But then I watch a team like Florida, and Winnipeg plays the same way every single night. And now it's game 64. Arneal doesn't even have to coach anymore with that team. I know I give the Jets
They
a lot
just
of
know,
love,
hey, like that's it.
It's just robotic. It's like watching a sim on NHL on Xbox. That's what I see with the Oilers. It's just they almost change their style of play and the effort that comes with that, depending on the strength of the opponent. But it's encouraging with the Dallas game because they still have it.
Great segment, Gaz. As always, buddy, we appreciate the time, man, and enjoy watching your two teams clash tonight, in the Gaz
game.
Bowl.
Enjoy the gas. Enjoy the Gaz Bowl, boys.
See you later, man. There you go. That's Luke Gazdick. How great to see you, man. Gaz is the best. Brought to you by our great partners over at Pro Am Sports. He asks a fair question, so let's continue with this conversation for a little bit. Who are the best two wingers for Draisaitl? And to me, the fact that he's asking the question and we're like, that's a problem with the roster construction here.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
the guys that they brought in that you thought would play with them look like they're going to play with them tonight, but you just haven't seen enough production from really either of them. One has been given much more of a longer leash in Arvidsson than Skinner has.
There's not many ways to get creative with this answer. I don't think. Like, that's the issue too, right? Like
780-218-9999 doesn't sign text guys in. It says, Luke just said it. Jones is a top 6 winger. Put him on Draisaitl's wing. Well, he said he said he sort of thought he was going to be a top 6 winger, and he needs to adjust to what his new role might be if he's going to stick around the National Hockey League.
Outside the box here. trying, it's fine. But I think, again, you're kind of... Amos Moses says Frederick, Dry, and Skinner when Frederick returns.
I mean, there's really there's
No.
That was a bad side.
No, it was good. Was that the Easter egg?
No, it's not. Ryan from SK says, I'd rather put Skinner with McDavid and Hyman and move Nuge with Leon and Arvidsson.
Okay.
Problem is, as soon as they get down by a goal, they go nuclear, and the lines are in a blender again anyway.
Don't go down a goal.
Yeah, just stay
In this world, they're not down a goal, so
stay on top, I guess. 7-8. Trav, answer this question, man. Who are your two ideal wingers? Ideal's the wrong word because I'm not sure there's ideal wingers for him right now. But who are your two preferred wingers with Leon Draisaitl down the stretch and into the playoffs?
You know what I wouldn't mind seeing right now? What about Zach getting on Leon's line? Leon's buzzing. He's absolutely buzzing. Connor's not really buzzing right now. Just switch it up a little bit. Put Hyman on the second line with Leon. See what they can do. And you got Jeff
You very
Skinner
rarely
on the left
see
wing.
that, right?
You
never
don't.
5-5, just them.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe you've tried everything. Try this, and see it how it works for one game. If not, well, you go back to the drawing board. But Jeff Skinner, Zach Hyman,
I might take
and Leon
Nuge with him.
Draisaitl. Yeah,
I might just flip McDavid and Draisaitl. Put Draisaitl between Nuge and Hyman, and let McDavid go and piddle around with Arvidsson and Skinner or Pod Colton. And I mean, the season that Leon's having with these wingers that he's been
brutal.
stuck with, it's pretty damn impressive, man. Like
poor guy. Give him someone to play with. Zach Hyman for one game. Just see. You might as well. And then what about, we've seen in the past, McDavid with skilled players, he can play good, but with gritty players, he plays fine. Patty Maroon, Milan Lucic, they've looked fine on his line before. Max Jones, put him on the first line. Why not? Trent Frederick, Max Jones, Connor McDavid. Why not?
Wow.
Why not?
No, but why not's the perfect thing to say.
Yeah.
Right? Like, why not try some of these things?
It's annoying that I don't know how other teams are, but I guarantee, I know for a fact that they don't go to the blender as much as the Oilers do. There's no way.
But I mean,
there's consistency amongst other teams.
I do have to. I mean, I guess there's ways you just look it up on Natural Stat Trick or something where you can see, line combinations that have played together.
Yeah.
And how many, where do the Oilers rank in that overall?
Even when the Oilers.
But it seems like we're always having this conversation no matter who the coach is. It's always like,
it's so annoying.
Todd McClellan had the blender. Jay Woodcroft, the old blender's out again. Oh, Knobloch.
Why not?
Knobloch does it all the time. I mean.
Even when the Oilers were playing unbelievable last year, game one of the playoffs lineup was one of the biggest questions, and Adam Henrique was on the first line. That was never in the regular season. You didn't see that. And then he makes his playoff debut with the Oilers on line one. He did score, so that's good. But Adam Henrique, Zach Hyman, and Connor McDavid, lineups has always been a discussion. And for whatever reason, it's very they just can't be consistent. It's tough.
What about Henrique, McDavid?
You want a Henrique on the wing, yeah.
Arvidsson.
Sure.
Hyman, Nuge, Draisaitl.
Why not?
I am pretty certain, without looking it up, we have not seen that top six this year. Henrique, McDavid, Arvidsson, Nuge, Draisaitl, Hyman. And did somebody say why not?
Why not?
I thought I heard one of you guys say why
out
not.
there, I think
somebody's out there just yelling why nots out there.
I think it was
why
Victor.
not?
That
Why
could
not?
be that could be Smitty the Weller says, I think Knobs has been the worst with the lines for sure. Has he been blending more than anybody?
He's got that magic bullet.
I don't know.
They all blend.
They all do it.
They all blend.
Blends per 60.
Max Jones, top six.
Mailman Dennis, who's traveling around Europe right now.
Yeah, we became friends on Facebook the other day.
No.
Yeah. Oh, I went to see his ventures, and he said, I'm not on social
Is he
media.
actually a mailman?
I said, let's get...
Gotta be. Who would pretend to be a mailman in the inbox? Good morning, gentlemen. My new favorite pastime is sitting on a train in Europe listening to EST. You can officially add Magdeburg, Leipzig, and the incredible Dresden, Germany to the map. P.S. The Germans know their hockey and they love Leon. It's cool to see the reaction when I say I'm from Edmonton and I get to see him play. I'm off to the Semperoper. Later, boys. Mailman Dennis. This is like Zach grown up. He's traveling by himself?
Future
Mailman
Zach.
Dennis, are you with somebody else? Are you with like a wife or a husband? I don't care. Who are you with?
Are you related to Zach?
This is fun. Rob from LA says no third or fourth line center with those combinations, Dusty. I mean,
We're not worrying about we don't care about
the bottom six isn't going to make an impact anyway. Look, you can play Matthias Janmark as your third line center, and they've been playing Kapanen as a fourth line center for some reason. So problem solved.
Hey, why not?
Why not? The 24-25 Edmonton Oilers. Why not?
Why not?
All right, keep the text messages flying in. Let's dive into the line for this game tonight with our partners over at CoolBet. If you've not yet signed up for a CoolBet account, please do so. Use the code LOCKSHOP when you do, and you'll get a 100% deposit bonus on your initial deposit, up to $200. The majority of my account right now is tied into a Sepp Straka top 20 finish at the Players Championship.
Yeah.
I use my little golf profit boost. They've got if you bet golf, there's no better place to bet golf than CoolBet, and we love to bet golf on the Lock Shop. Right now, well, I guess we would have missed it because the event's already started. But they had for every golf event moving forward, you go and we make one golf bet, and they give you a 30% profit boost on it. So whatever you win, they're bumping it up by 30%, which is insane. I mean, it's pretty good. So, well, let's dive into this Oilers game tonight. What are they? Interesting. The Oilers are a minus 137 road favorite tonight. The total is set at 6. Let's dive into some of these player points here. Do we leave the Oilers money line off of this tonight? Hey, we should be able to cash a bet without them winning.
We said after Buffalo that we'd kind of maybe.
Yeah. Okay, so we're not picking them to win. So let's find something else that we can do here. All right, player goals. Leon Draisaitl plus 107. McDavid's plus 143. Hyman Nuge. Let's go Leon with a goal. Let's take a Leon goal.
That's great.
I mean, it's pretty steady, Eddie. Plus 107. Leon goal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw out a Jeff Skinner point. Can we do that?
Let's do it.
Hey, why not? I'm not seeing a Jeff Skinner point. I'm seeing a Kasperi Kapanen point.
You're seeing a Kapanen point.
How can I bet a Kasperi Kapanen point, but not a Jeff Skinner point?
Knoblauch running
I mean,
the
I
site.
guess Skinner has been healthy scratch most of the time.
Yeah, I guess.
So, but I mean,
Did they not see the lines
who
yesterday?
in the world is going to bet Kasperi Kapanen to have a point? I might put together a little no point parlay here and throw Kapanen into that.
Hey,
Actually,
why not?
no point for Kapanen, minus 345. Let's go there. No point Kapanen. It's not going to add a lot to it, but it's a sure thing.
I like you willing the bottom 6 into production here.
Yeah. Bouchard point, minus 170. And want one more in there because that one number is not going to move the needle at all. Should I throw a devil in the mix here? I don't want to do that.
El Diablo.
I don't want to do that.
Jesper Bratt always shows up against the Oilers.
Trevor, we're not putting a devil in here.
Okay.
Jeez.
Sorry.
Whatever you say, Satan. Let's go. Leon. What's McDavid's shot log like? Let's see. McDavid game log. Thinking of going Connor McDavid over on the shots, but what's his shot been like lately? Let's see here.
Is there a passes when he has a scoring chance opportunity? Is there a over? I'd take the hammer the over.
So McDavid, since March 1st, 5 games, he's been over 2.5 shots, 3 of the 4. They need a dub here tonight. So let's throw in McDavid over 2.5 shots tonight at minus 149. All right, so we've got Draisaitl goal, McDavid over 2.5 shots, a Bouchard point, and no point for Kapanen. That'll be our ESC parlay tonight. I'll send that off to the boys. Hopefully we can get it up by the end of the show. All right, so there we go. Draisaitl goal, McDavid over 2.5 shots, a Bouchard point, and no Kapanen point. That'll be our EST parlay for today. You know what? Let's mix it up, right? Let's mix it up. Let's throw that in there. Like,
Let's get the blender going.
why not? Why not? It works for Knobloch.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes. All right, on the way next, what do you got beef with? Today seems like a good beefy day. What do you have beef with? 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Let us know. What are you beefing with? 780-218-9999. Reed Wilkins in about 15 minutes on a special day for Reed Wilkins. What a second hour we've got here. Hey, if you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. We're getting you ready for the Oilers and the Devils. We are 42 likes away from changing 200. Let's smash through that. We don't want Reed to roll in and not see a 200-like
How
show.
embarrassing, yeah.
I mean, gross. Let's get to the sports update here with Lieutenant Eric.
Game day as the Oilers' road trip will continue tonight against the Devils in one of 9 games around the NHL. Edmonton looking to avenge Monday's loss in Buffalo. Tom Gazzola, Hernan Salas, they'll get you set, and they'll knock the game down as well with the GCL Diesel pre- and post-game shows. Coverage starts at 4:30 here on EST. Other action tonight, we'll see Columbus host Vegas, while the Capitals are in LA to battle the Kings. Action from last night, former Oil King Dylan Guenther with the winner midway through the third. Utah would hang on to beat the Ducks 3-2. Canucks over the Flames 4-3 in a shootout. Canucks now even on points with the Flames, having played one less game. Patrick Kane, 5-point night. Red Wings snap a 6-game slide with a 7-3 win over the Sabres. And Brandon Montour scoring 4 seconds into the extra frame as the Kraken get by the Habs 5-4. The LA Lakers visit Milwaukee tonight in one of 5 games around the NBA. Last night, the Nuggets falling at home 115-95 to Minnesota. Raptors 118-105 over the Sixers. And Canadian Shai Gilgeous-Alexander 34 points as the West Best Thunder beat the Celtics 118-112 from Boston. Edmonton Oil Kings with a 3-2 loss to the Hitmen yesterday afternoon in front of close to 18,000 fans. Oil Kings back on the ice Saturday night when they host the Prince Albert Raiders. Opening round action at the Players' Championship is underway this morning. As of right now, Canadian Corey Connors, he is in a tie for 7th, 1 under through 3. Also, Nick Taylor even through 1 this morning. Sports Update brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, who would like to wish Neil Green a happy birthday this morning.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button. Thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
A kid, he'd be up at 5, take shots till 8 and make the thing drive out after school and back on ice. Too bad it sucks, he's only gonna play in a beer league. He simply falls down. He can't catch his breath on the bench. He will stay. He's fat and slow, so he can only really play in a beer league. Oh, that boy's gonna play in a beer league. That boy's gonna break his leg. That boy's gonna play in a beer league. That boy's got a wheel bag. Oh, the beer league. Didn't have moves when he turned 16. Got cut 3 times from a double-A team. Now he and his buddies, they have to pay about $700 if you wanna play. play in a beer league. That boy's gonna play in a beer league. That boy's gonna break his leg. That boy's gonna play in a beer league. That boy's got a wheel bag. The beer league.
7:35. Shout out to all you beer leaguers, rec leaguers last night, waking up this morning after the 10:30 puck drop last night. Lost 9-7, and you got to go to work today. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Heavy Hockey Showdown is happening this weekend.
Yes.
Team EST versus Team Heavy Hockey. We're going to auction off the spot to coach against Team EST. You're going to get into the hangout. You're going to get a hangout spot. You're going to get some EST swag, and you will be coaching against us. We'll do that tomorrow on the show because the EST Heavy Hockey crew will be in on the hangout, and we can kind of continue the auction into the hangout.
And Westgate Boston Pizza tomorrow night, I do believe. Hey, for
there's going to be like sort of pre and post tomorrow night. Westgate Boston Pizza, and I know a bunch of the Heavy Hockey crew is going to be out there the night before the game on Saturday. So, looking forward to that this weekend. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999. That'll get you into the Paris Jewelers inbox today, 780-218-9999. One of your text messages will end up winning text of the day today. Scalding hot takes are printed off. I thought Trev was going to steal them. I printed them off out there. He got up.
Crafty boy.
I was going to go take my takes. Yeah. Trevor, you wearing your jacket backwards right now? I got beef with this.
That's amazing. I don't believe it. Put the hood up.
Why are you wearing your jacket backwards?
Well, because I took it off. I thought it warmed up in here.
Okay.
But then I went to get coffee, and then as I was walking back, it's still cold in this corner. So then I looked at my jacket, and I didn't want to get up to put on my jacket. So I was like, I can do it this way. Because then I'd have to get up. It was just a whole thing. And it's only the front.
You've never put on a jacket sitting down. You just lean forward, man.
Yeah, I can't lean forward. You see this desk? You see this? Can't lean forward. So this is way more efficient.
It's who did that bit? Was that Tom Green? I'm the backwards man. Backwards man.
Backwards man. Backwards man.
It's a backwards man.
And it's only the front of me that's cold.
Yeah, well, your back must be freezing though.
No, because
it's open coat.
No, but the chair is warm, right?
I guess.
I'm leaning back.
I guess. All right, let's get
put
into
your pants on backwards too.
Backwards man.
Maybe.
Do it all. I can walk back as fast as you can.
Full Monty.
My hat's backwards, so
your hat
what are you
is
going to say
backwards.
about that?
You are the backwards man.
It's backwards.
Yeah.
All right, if you're watching on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. We got Reed Wilkins in about 5 minutes, so let's dive into it. We're 27 likes away from changing 200. Let's hammer that. Let's dive into I Got Beef today. Corey the Butcher is like 2 weeks away from going to compete in the Butcher Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
He's been
training.
He's been training hard for this.
Hitting that round in the freezer, like doing the old Rocky thing. Like he's.
I mean, Corey, just let us know, how often do you do that? Like, I would assume some people got into being a butcher just because of Rocky beating the meat.
I'd say he's got a little ham hanging up in there like a quick bag.
Does he beat the meat?
Yeah, that's what it is. A steak.
Yeah.
A roast. That would be good. So best of luck to Corey. I mean, we'll probably text us before he gets over there. We should actually connect with him from there.
Wouldn't be bad.
That'd be cool.
Especially because I know French now, because when the Habs are in town and he's going to be in Paris.
You can do the whole
I can translate for him.
Yeah, exactly.
I can translate for him. Oh, bonjour. Bonjour, je m'appelle Corey the Butcher. Great to catch up with you. If you want the best in the biz, Acme Meats. Eat fresh, eat local, eat Acme. Acme Meats, serving Edmonton for over 100 years. That's a century. 9570 76th Ave. What are you beefing with? 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Rick, what are you beefing with today?
Yeah, some idiot was walking past my house the other day with his dog. And, once again, I just want to preface, I don't mind dogs. I don't mind dog owners. Have nothing against them. Gage is one.
I know what happened.
He hates bikers, and I hate dog owners. But here's the thing. I have a lot of people that walk their dogs past my house. They have them on a leash. They stay on the sidewalk. It's all great. There is a bush bordering my property and my neighbor's property where the dogs like to take a little leak, and that's kind of the meetup point. So every time they walk past, they smell it, and they communicate, and that's how the thing is. This guy, though, he's random in the afternoon. I haven't seen him once before, ever. and he's walking on the sidewalk. His dog is prancing through my neighbor's yard, walking up to everything, smelling everything, pawing at everything, probably pissing everywhere, runs onto my yard. And I'm just like, what the...
What is this?
I've got public parks surrounding our neighbor. You want to let your dog off? Go let him run around, piss and crap everywhere. But running around people's lawns, I don't... And then so I banged on the window and the dog got startled.
Yes.
And at this point, the dog runs back to the guy and he kind of pets it on the head and shoots me a stare.
You're okay,
well,
boy.
yeah, that guy hurt the dog. I don't know where you get off. Now, if I see him again, I will have to take this to another level.
His ass.
Well, I'll go out and say, excuse me, because I had the issue with that woman.
Yeah.
That was doing this last spring. And she let it run all over the yard. Because now it goes on the lawn, say it pisses there. Now other dogs want to now start getting into the party. And they want to go communicate. So I just don't know where you get off by A, it's dangerous for the dog. I mean, if a car goes down the road and the dog runs into you're dead dog.
You know what you should do? I have a suggestion. You should do what my dad used to do when other dogs would run onto our property. You should shoot and kill this thing right in front of
Take
the guy.
the law into my own hands.
Send a message.
Maybe a trap.
Why not? Trev, what are you beefing with?
Well, I'm trying to be a good person lately, and that's led me to being ridiculed around the office because I did one minor accident. I was just trying to be nice, and where did that get me? Yeah, it's absolute blasphemy. Is that a
because you screwed over Hernan and Zach?
I did not.
Yeah.
It was an accident. So I got beef with everyone saying I'm a bad guy. You know what? You want bad? I might turn heel. You know
What? How?
I don't
already
know.
are.
I'll kick
I'm
someone
gonna go
in the
like this
nuts.
in the office.
I'll kick someone in the nuts. Come over here.
God.
Anyone who wants it. Yeah, so I've got beef with
So you got
everyone.
beef with the office right now.
With everyone. Just yesterday, I was just a walking target. I couldn't do anything right. I look at people. Gager's just, what are you doing?
Belsey was like, "What'd you do to your face?"
He's like, oh, well, yeah, you shaved your mustache. What's going on with that? Reed's like, I beat you in 21. Zach's like,
"You lost to Reed in 21."
Well, yeah, he's got this silly gimmick. He's like, Trev, I figured something out. I'm like, no, you didn't.
What?
And then
But he
happened
did.
to
He
beat
beat
me.
you. What's
well,
his thing?
I missed 2 rebounds. So,
Oh, man.
there's that.
You
else?
suck.
Yeah, Zach, yeah, you suck. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So that's the Nasties Rude Tube Trev. I turned into the Reed Wilkins show.
Rude Tube Trev.
People, justice for Hernan. Lieutenant Eric, there it is. Justice for Hernan.
Well, I want to bring the
Everyone's
attention.
on Team Hernan. What the heck? What
Like to
did
bring
I do?
attention to a tweet.
I was being no.
You had a tweet 14 hours ago. Did you see this?
Yeah,
I saw it.
That was because I was ticked.
It's a spite tweet.
Yeah, it's
a spite
there's,
tweet.
There's nothing to it. It was just because
Yeah, but now
it was
you're
funny.
rubbing salt in the wound. of
Yeah,
Hernan.
I mean that's a mean thing to say to
Well-
Hernan. I think.
Well, all I've done has been nice, and where did that get me? So yeah, I'm going to start
by
from-
being nice, you like, hey, play on my team. And the next day, you're like, actually, you're on the wait list.
After he
I
quit
don't know
smoking.
if that's being nice. Yeah.
For all
Now
my
you're
time.
driving him back to having a
You're
dart.
driving him back to the smokes. And all that equipment he purchased as well.
Ridiculous.
Brand new.
I can't believe this. I'm a good guy. I'm a nice guy. Ask anyone. Ask my grandma. She's a saint. Okay, she speaks so highly of me. I'm a good guy.
Would you
I would
put,
never
would
do
you put
this.
her on the waiting list?
No, never. It's out of my hands. It's out of my control. I have no. I thought it every other time we've had a team. You're like, yeah, ask around if we need players. That's always how it's been. Apparently, this time around, we don't. Okay, simple mistake, simple accident. And now I'm just getting, look at this, YYT, yeah, heel, okay, that one's funny. But anyway, that was my side beef. There's this one commercial that I watch during the Oilers games. It's the border wall, and it's very irritating. Commercials that just suck and that you're forced to watch.
Yeah, that sucks.
I got beef with that just because that was my original beef this week, and I wrote it down last week because I wanted to talk about it a little bit more, but then this is just in the moment.
D-Rock says, this is like you guys picking on Wannick when he was the best commish. Oh, so now we know who D-Rock is. That's a Wannick's burner account.
We figured it out.
Unbelievable. Here's my beef. I have beef with my wife right now. We are going on family vacation next Tuesday. And before, like, it's busier before vacation than it ever is. She has to go get her hair done. She has to get her nails done.
Yeah.
She has to go for a massage.
A pedi.
She had to get new clothes. She has to try them on to make sure they're outfits. And we're there for 5 days. She needs 7 outfits just in case. And I'm just like, throw some stuff in a bag for me. I'll be good. But I told her, I said, we're going on vacation. Why do we need to have new hair? And why do we need to have nails done and stuff? All you're going to do, she's going to get her nails done. And then we're going to go to Disneyland. The first day in Disneyland, she's going to break one of her nails. And I'm going to be like, ha! I'm not gonna feel sorry for her at all. So yeah, I got beef with my wife who wanted to do all this stuff before we leave on vacation. Is this how other wives are? Or is this just my wife? I don't know. It's just like, relax. We're going on vacation. You're not going to see anybody you know. Maybe what do you need a new haircut?
Especially to a Disney.
I support it. Atta be Tam.
I'm not cutting my hair before vacation. So anyway, that's my beef right now. She's like, oh, I'm going to be so busy. I'm like, hey, but you're just being busy on like weird stuff. I don't get it. All right, what do you have beef with? 780-218-9999. Let's get to this one here from Potato Salad Jesse. I got beef with Oilers fans in this city. The Chicken Little mentality that the sky is falling after every loss, and then when one big win, they're the biggest supporters of the team, and the ridiculous takes every single year come trade deadline. It's quite sad. Yeah. Figure that would pop in. A few of them have similar takes. All right, 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. You can hit us up in the nasty chat. Oh, Trev, your backwards jacket here is just killing me.
I can't
today.
believe it.
All right, let's go to Reed Wilkins. I got to know about this 21 strategy. Reed didn't have some cool strategy. He didn't have a cool strategy when I played him earlier in the week. What's going on with this? Let's bring in Reed Wilkins from the Reed Wilkins Show, 3 to 6 every single day here on EST. Reed, how did you develop this new strategy? What's going on here?
With Jay Milne, big supporter of mine, and I am of him as well. Very smart man, very athletic man, very crafty man. And, I announced this publicly on my show yesterday because Jay and I did a top 3 about streaks in honor of the 15-game
makes sense
streak in the NBA. So, but we picked sort of I at least picked kind of lesser known ones, or I didn't know this, that Henrik Lundqvist stopped something like 25 straight shootout attempts in 2006 over almost the entire year.
That's going back a bit, yeah.
So, yeah, Trev at one point beat me 24 consecutive games of 21. And I realize it's a fun game, but as you guys know, I was getting upset. Part of that streak was Awanuk's fault because he suggested this strategy that was horrific, and I could never win. And then I finally broke the streak, and then in the 13 games since the streak ended, it's 8-5 Trev. But I won yesterday with this new strategy, and Jay didn't like seeing me in pain. Didn't like seeing me hurting. So we kind of put our heads together and thought, okay, we need something reliable, mathematical, repeatable. So I think the tide has now turned in terms of this showdown with the heel YouTube Trev.
I can't wait to watch you play 21 next time you play 21.
Well, you may not even detect what I'm doing. Well, you probably will. But, I think it's going to pay off for me. Hard work pays off, guys.
I saw you hit a nice 3-pointer yesterday on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yep. That was, I got a message from Jay Onright saying, how many takes was that? And it was on take 7.
That's not bad.
1 for 7 actually on our net from 3 is not bad.
No, if you take that percentage, you'll win a lot of 21 games, actually.
Yeah, it's a very unforgiving net. Yes.
Calculate that in there. Yeah, that's good. Hey, before I know we got an anniversary we're going to discuss, but are you allergic to cashews, even though they're not a nut?
Yes.
You are?
Aren't they a nut?
What?
No.
Man, if anybody would know, I thought it would be you. We learned this yesterday. They come from a cashew apple that grows on a tree, and then the cashew's in the stem, and it comes out of that. It's like technically kind of a fruit.
I don't know. I think I've had the touch of cashew, and it did not go well.
Touch of cashew.
Yeah, I always thought that they were nuts. So no, I wouldn't touch them. I
always thought they were nuts too. Like,
what about an almond? An almond, is that?
Where you come on the almond family?
Okay, I don't eat anything like that, guys.
Yeah,
and so there may be some things maybe my body could tolerate. I know there was a time. Well, it's probably a while ago now. I accidentally ingested something that just had very slight amount of shaved almond on it, and I didn't have an extreme reaction. It was kind of one of those. It's like, oh, I feel like I'm a little itchy, or maybe got a little bit of a just mild irritation. And then I was like, hey, what was on that pastry? It's like, oh, there was a little bit of. So I just stay away from anything. Like I don't need to experiment at this point in my life. You know, like I know a lot of people have nut allergies, and I always get people saying, "Well, you know, actually, my cousin has nut, and they can eat this," and I'm like, I don't even want to bother.
Yeah, it's different from person.
And I'm pretty sure the way this was discovered. I don't remember this, but one of my parents was told, like when I was not even one, like I was a baby, like my dad ate. I thought he ate cashews and then handled me or changed my diaper or something, and I broke out in hives as like a little baby because he had the dust, or the stuff on his hands,
tracings.
So that's, and then just as a real little kid, they did the allergy test on me, and they're like, oh yeah, he's got a pretty bad nut allergy. So I've known about it all my life. I've had some unpleasant accidental things that have happened along the way, so I don't even bother. Like I don't even think about it, and you guys know it in the office. I don't eat baking, and I appreciate that we have listeners that bring food.
They will bring it in
like
nut free
type
of thing. Yeah,
it's not worth the risk of trying something.
Colin the Amishman agrees. He says, I'm with Reed, no nuts solidarity.
Yeah, that's good. There we go.
There's nothing like having no nuts, guys.
Reed Wilkins with us on the show this morning. Reed, what happened 25 years ago today?
25 years ago today, I started working in Lloydminster, my first actual job in broadcasting. So, it's and thanks for bringing it up, Dustin. I didn't know if I was going to tell anybody about it or if it would just sort of come up organically, which I guess it kind of did with Jay, a few weeks ago. But yeah, this was the first day. So 25 years ago today, I would have been getting up. I stayed at the Lakeland College dorms in Lloydminster till the end of March because I had an apartment for April 1st. And this was the first day of what became my career, and I hoped was going to become my career at the time, though you obviously never know then on day number one. But I finished what was the timeline? I finished NAIT in August of 99. I officially graduated because that's when my practicum in Saskatoon ended, and then a little while after that, I got a job doing media relations with the Edmonton Drillers, which I only did for 4 months, and then got the job in Lloydminster. So, Greg Buchanan, the sports director at the time who hired me, is going to be on my show later today. So I'm sure we'll have some laughs. And that first day, I kind of remember some stuff. Like you remember some stuff when you start, like trying to learn people's names. I mean, there's definitely at least a couple people from that time that I'm still in touch with, maybe not all the time, but that you might go for lunch with every year or two. And it was I think I did a radio sportscast my first day.
Okay.
Which would not happen in a bigger market, right?
No, there's no way they'd be like, hey, go do this.
Go sit and work on this typewriter for 3 months, and then maybe we'll let you read one sentence. And I remember, so I think there was a noon sportscast, and Greg said, "Do you want to do it?" And I was like, "No, maybe." Then there were ones at 4, 5, and 6 on the radio.
Yeah.
And then I think I did the one at 4 o'clock, and then I was on TV anchoring. I think the second or third day. You just go. You got a little bit of training from Nate, but you just go. I think that first night. I think it was the first day there was a AJHL playoff game, Lloydminster Blazers against the Fort Saskatchewan Traders. And remember they had that logo, like that angry looking trapper on the front. So I remember going to that game and doing post game the first day. So you just dive right into it and away you go. And Lloyd hosted the Allen Cup in April. So within a month of working there, or about a month, I was covering the Allen Cup for the first of what would turn out to be 3 or 4 times along the way. So it's I decided just to take a moment to
quarter of a century, buddy. I mean, that's awesome. Yeah, that's a lot.
I'm not going to bring up every year after this.
My 26th year.
25 is pretty cool.
Sterling silver is the gift for 25 years, so maybe we'll have to
there you
talk
go.
to Paris Jewelers and get you something. I want to know when you were 18, 25 years ago, is this tough to say this is what you envisioned, but where were you mentally? Like what did Reed Wilkins at that time have an idea of becoming?
Good question.
Well, I think at that time, I think at that time in 2000, and again, like Lloyd, when I started in Lloyd, it was equal radio and TV. It eventually, for the sports department, became 90% TV over the time I was there. But the goal would have been to be a television sports anchor.
Yeah, that was big back then, right? Like that was a big thing.
Yeah, and those are still prominent jobs. And speaking of Jay, certainly what he's done, and with Dan for a lot of years, that was the thing, and that was the time of what Jay did, and what was the guy, Patrick, and who was the guy Dan Patrick was with? Were Patrick and Olbermann together?
Yeah, was it Olbermann with him?
Keith?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then who was it? Not Killorn. Was it Kilborn? Like he was an anchor before he did the
before he got
show.
into Kilborn.
And then plus, not that he was in. Well, actually, Dennis Miller was in sports for a while, but he was another popular guy in that era. So that was the era of making a pop culture reference in every highlight, or calling things by like a third nickname. Like it's like, okay, so it's the Oilers, and then there's the oil. So what does the logo look like? So, you call them the droppers, if it's like Oilers Flames, it's like, you got the droppers against the fireballs, downtown E-Town tonight, like stuff like that. So I don't know if that's exactly what I wanted to do, but that way, but that was that era where like the cool.
Well, I was just going to point out, Reed, because you were talking about, being on the desk then, and that's what you wanted to do. And in that time, there was a show. Reed, do you ever watch Sports Night? Remember Sports Night? The show?
Yes, I've watched it.
And that was from 98 into 2000. And it was a show about the sports anchor desk. Like that was the big thing back then. Yeah. Like it was, Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have those tapes? Like are the first tapes still around?
I don't know. My parents might have stuff on VHS because they used to tape stuff. But I don't know if they
That'd be
still
something
have
fun
them.
to play on your show. Buddy.
Yeah, that would be horrific to play my first ever.
Coop's got a VCR probably.
Yeah, Coop's has.
I think I'm bad now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're never as bad as when you start.
Yeah, I even listened back to some of my old stuff, and I just sound young, like in my 20s calling games. It's just like,
well, that's
my God, I was a baby.
Yeah, some of it you can't help, right? The sound.
It's just how you are.
About it, yeah.
When you got that job, Reed, had you? Because I remember when I came out of college, I was 2003. Yeah, it's 2003. And I applied everywhere. Like, had you had a bunch of, or was it you kind of applied for a job and you got it? Or had you sent out tapes everywhere and you're just hoping for something?
I'd sent out quite a few tapes. I don't know if I had any other interviews. I don't think I did. I don't know why I remember this specifically. I applied for a job, which obviously I didn't get. I think the town is called Eau Claire, Wisconsin.
Okay.
They had a TV station because it seemed like every American little town has, not little town, but even smaller cities have a TV station and local news. I guess Canada kind of like PA and Moose Jaw and even Lethbridge and Medicine Hat used to do more local news and sports.
Tons of stuff around that time. Yeah.
So yeah, even when I was with the Drillers, like I was sending out tapes, and Chris Durham actually got me that job at the Drillers because he was, I think, kind of doing stuff with them too, and like he knew that I was going to leave for a broadcasting job if I got one, but I don't think I had any other. I don't think I had any other interviews. I think but I remember going out for the interview in Lloyd, driving out in a suit and going and eating at the A&W in the Lloyd Mall food court.
Yes.
Take me there.
And then go out for the interview, and then finding out a few days later that I was hired.
Well, it's been a hell of a 25 years, man. And now here you are with us, which is great. What's coming up on your show today? What do you got this afternoon?
All right. Well, we'll preview Oilers Devils. What are we on at 3? 3 until 4:30. So we'll talk Oilers Devils and get everybody set for that game and get you set for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 4:30. And then at 5:30, Greg Buchanan, the man who is responsible for me getting my foot in the door of this wacky career is going to hop on. Greg's great. Like I've stayed in touch with him, and he does some podcasting stuff in Lloyd and works with the World Pro Chuck Wagon Association and that Allen Cup in 05, the one that Theo Fleury was at with Forest Lake.
Oh, that would have been big.
He was the GM of the Lloyd Border Kings, and he was a big organizer of that tournament too. So he'll probably have some pretty good stories.
Oh, that's going to be a good show, man. Congratulations on 25 years, and we'll be looking forward to the show this afternoon.
All right. Love you guys.
There you go. That's Reed Wilkins.
Too, Reed.
Oh, he loves us, and we love him too. That was nice. Do you remember that show, Sports Night? Somebody said they've got it on DVD. They love it. I am pretty sure it's not streaming anywhere, but if it is, let us know. Because it was a good show. I liked Sports Night a lot.
Sports Line in Saskatoon. Jay Honore used to work there, but Barney Shankrick also like that. You mentioned too, like the late night desk.
Yeah.
Was something to watch.
That's why there was a TV show about it for 2 seasons. Like it was a big deal.
And national or local or whatever it was, like you had some good stuff on those.
Yeah, I would have. What's he doing here already? What's going on over here?
I know. That's the big question.
Tommy, what are you here for? Okay, makes sense. Gazzola rolled in here at like 7:48 today, and I thought something was wrong.
Got a little breakfast going there.
A classic time change scenario.
I love it.
But he says they're cleaning his parking garage, so he had to get out. Okay.
Did somebody move Maddie's car?
That makes sense. Yeah. Tommy did the desk in Lloyd a little bit too. I never got to that. I never did the desk. When I came out, I was a huge Mike Toth fan, and I was just like, man, I'd like to be like Toth. So like coming up, but I always wanted to do play-by-play. That was kind of the main thing for me, like to get into sports broadcasting. I wanted to do play-by-play. But
now look who's on the desk now. More of a post-show show.
We own this desk.
Yeah, there's another desk.
Yeah, we did that poster show there for a bit where we had the funny little thing. That was kind of fun for a bit.
Yeah, I know, but
there was a lot of work into that.
The desk.
That desk. The desk? Tommy says the desk is overrated.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's good to know. Speaking of desks, this drives me nuts.
I know. Yeah, you got beef.
So I got a late beef, and then we'll get to the update and all of our other fun stuff. So when we left the old, when the Grey Cup was here in 2018, TSN brought out like this old desk, big old desk that they set up and used, and then they left it here. So we used it for the post-show show for 4 or 5 years, up until they fired us. And when we were looking for a desk for this studio, I reached back out to the people who had recently canned us, and I was like, hey, listen, can I buy that desk off you?
You're offering money. Like, it's not doing anything.
No, I wasn't trying to take it.
They're holding the cards.
I was like, can I buy that desk off you? It's been sitting there. We're the only people who've touched it for the last 5 years. Would you mind selling me the desk? We can modify it, change the colors, put whatever on there.
Name a price.
I think this is a better, more comfortable desk
I
anyway.
Love this desk.
But the reply I got was like, no, TSN has to hang on to that. They might use it. So I still go over there to print off T4s and do some stuff with emails, and because I'm still a Bell employee through TSN. So I go over there all the time. That desk has not moved in 2 years.
No.
Like it's just sitting there. I could probably go take it and nobody would know or ever care about it. I'm not going to because I'm not a greasy bum. But I'm like, why didn't you sell me that desk for $1,500? Ridiculous. They're wasting an asset over there. They could turn that around into some money.
I think it's accumulated so much dust that they're calling it Dustin.
Heavy desk too.
It's big, but it comes apart, right?
Yeah, it comes apart. There was like
the
4
next
cases
Grey
for
Cup. When Grey Cup comes here again, they'll wheel it out.
That might be the thing.
It will be.
No, but nobody at TSN even knows that desk is still there.
I know.
Like nobody in Bell probably knows that desk is there.
What you should do is you should start taking chunks of it.
Yeah, just one every time I go over.
Piece.
Just a small little
Nobody's
piece.
going to know.
Nobody would know. Big Maple's asking when we're going to go on CTV2.
What a deep cut.
God, that's a good one.
They're running the cables through today.
Yeah.
Thousands and tens of thousands of dollars in changes. Man, oh man.
You know what? That being said, I could see them reaching out and asking if we want to go on CTV2 now, which would be hilarious.
You know what? That's the come
That'd be the
here.
ultimate.
Yeah,
that'd be the ultimate switcheroo.
You got it.
All right. You can text us anytime, 780-218. Oh, is Trev telling us to move along here? Is that what Trev? Calm down.
Wow.
Your jacket's on backwards, for goodness sakes. How can I take you seriously? If you want to play kind of easy trivia today, gift certificate to Mr. Mike Steakhouse Casual, 780-218-9999, $99.99. That gift certificate to Mr. Mike's is up for grab. Text Trev. Let him know you'd like to play. We'll play some kind of easy trivia. We'll get to 3 questions too many. Scalding Hot Takes is coming up. GCL Diesel Orange and Blue Breakfast. Marmot Basin Snow Report and the wrap for William Huff. Jam-packed hour number 3. Who's on the hangout today, Mr. Gazzola? Jasmine and Reed. Is Jazzy in 3 days this week? Nice. Wow. Jasmine and Reed Clark today on the hangout from 9 to 11. Let's get the sports update right now for Windsor Plywood, Leduc.
Game day as the Oilers are in New Jersey to take on the Devils tonight. It's one of 9 games around the NHL this evening. You could join Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas for your GCL Diesel pre- and then post-game shows. Coverage starting at 4:30 here on EST. Other action tonight, we'll see Vegas and Columbus and the Kings at home to the Caps. Last night, Canucks topping the Flames 4-3 in a shootout. Red Wings snap a 6-game slide, 7-3 over the Sabres. Utah clipped the Ducks 3-2, and Brandon Montour scoring 4 seconds into overtime. Kraken 5, Canadiens 4. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at 34 points. West leading OKC Thunder, beating the Boston Celtics 118-112. The Nuggets would fall at home 115-95 to the T-Wolves, and the Raptors get a dub 118-105 over the Sixers. Lakers are in Milwaukee tonight, one of 5 games. Back over to hockey, the Oil Kings suffering a 3-2 loss to the Hitmen yesterday afternoon in front of close to 18,000 at Rogers Place. Oil Kings back in action Saturday night when they welcome in the Prince Albert Raiders. Opening round action at the Players' Championship is underway this morning. What a start by Jordan Spieth. 3 under through 4 today. He has a share of the lead. Corey Connors, the low Canadian, 1 under through 5. Sports update for Windsor Plywood Leduc. Locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since 1993. Doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff at Windsor Plywood Leduc.
Somebody once told me that I had got to grow the facial hair that make me look fine. He was looking super cool, the ladies, man, how they drool at the shape of a U on his jawline. Well, you look amazing cause you just stopped shaving. The chicks line up so you're always dating. Doesn't make sense to have a full beard. You think it looks cool but it just looks weird. So much to do, so much to win. So grow it ear to ear around your chin. You'll never know if it will grow. So don't shave and just let it go. Hey now, grow a chin strap, get that hair on your face. Hey now, grow a chin strap, coolest dude in the place. And now that we are in March, let's all come together and celebrate Charge. It's a cool look, and as you get older, your chin stays warm and your life gets bolder. Hashtag Charge if you're on Twitter. Nelson had a chin strap in his wedding pictures. If you want, you shave it pretty thin. People use their eyes to be staring at your chin. My strap straight fire? How about yours? You're just so popular you never get bored. Hey now, grow a chin strap, get that hair on your face. Hey now, grow a chin strap, coolest dude in the place. And now that we are in March, let's all come together and celebrate Charge.
8:09 on the Nielsen Show. Thank you very much for being here today. You can text us anytime. 780-218-9999. Coming to you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio. Nielsen Show today and every day brought to you by our great partners out at South Fort Chevrolet. If you want a truck, go get a truck at South Fort Chev. You won't find a better deal anywhere else. I'm not lying to you. What's that saying? If I'm lying, I'm dying. Sandra Bullock, I think, in Quantum Leap. No, not Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock lookalike in Quantum Leap. Sorry. Got confused. By the way, somebody did get my Easter egg.
Really?
But they haven't named the movie yet.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, they caught the Easter egg, but they haven't guessed the movie
Interesting.
yet.
And it's a visual, hey?
I've been doing something visually through the show today that comes from a movie. And seeing if anybody can get it. All of our songs, including that one that we just played, brought to you by Totem Outdoor Outfitters. New gear, used gear, trade and consign, a sport for every season. With hockey equipment and skates ready to go year-round. Family store that takes pride in finding the right fit for you. Visit them at 7430 99th Street or online at totemoutfitters.ca. All right, keep the texts rolling in. Find one of them that'll win a text of the day today, which will be for A&W. Scalding hot takes just after 8:30. GCL Diesel, Orange and Blue Breakfast to follow that. Marmot Bates and Snow Report, the wrap for William Huff. And, of course, 3 questions too many. Just around the corner, we're going to get this hour kicked off with a little kind of easy trivia for Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual, the casualest place ever. Are you ready to stake your claim? Head to Mr. Mike's for a 2-course steak dinner for just $39.99. Start with an Emperor Caesar salad or the rustic onion soup. Then enjoy the tender 7-ounce sirloin steak with béarnaise butter and garlic mashed potatoes. Loaded with savory toppings, Mr. Mike's. Eat locally, enjoy casually. Trev, who is playing kind of easy trivia today?
This is Curtis.
Curtis is going to play today, looking to get his hands on that GC to Mr. Mike's. Curtis, you ready to go, buddy?
Sure am.
All right, we'll start the ticker after you read the first question, all right? Good luck. Here we go. Who do the Edmonton Oilers play tonight?
New Jersey.
Name one player on the Devils.
Jack Hughes.
What position does Jacob Markstrom play?
Goalie.
Which team won the Canucks-Flames game last night?
Canucks.
What sport does DeAndre Hopkins play?
Football.
Boom, 5 for 5. Curtis on his way to Mr. Mike's.
Are you kidding me? That's right. Who do you think you are? I am. Get it right.
You can't have a newcomer come in and steal the show.
That's a paddling.
Oh, we've been strong. We're just playing by the rules.
Oh, you better believe that's a paddling.
And I was in Miami with my new beach house. Well, it was a couple minutes from the beach.
That's a paddling.
The first year we took it to the limit. Take it to the limit.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
All right, 8:13 on a game day. Oilers and Devils tonight. Jimbo says, is this guy awake? Yeah, pretty impressive by Curtis Wing. Kind of easy trivia. Well sleeping. Yeah,
you can do it.
Absolutely
in his sleep.
nailed it.
Yeah.
Absolutely nailed it. We are a little ways away from 300 here, so let's hammer those thumbs up if you're watching over on YouTube today. Then settle in. We got the Hangout coming up from 9 to 11, the Lock Shop from 11 until 12, 2 guys in the goalie from 12 to 1, EST Afternoons with Hernan and Gager. If you haven't checked that out yet, I'm telling you, you'll absolutely very much enjoy that show from 1 to 3, and then the Reed Wilkins show from 3 to 6. And smack dab in the middle of that will be the GCL Diesel pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. And Hernan will sit on the desk because Ice Cube will be behind the scene over there. I watched a little bit of Straight Outta Compton last night. I'm just saying.
You were getting some work done.
Yeah, I was doing some work and I threw it on for a little bit. Yeah, no, that was pretty good. I like that movie, actually. It's pretty good. All right, let's get into 3 questions too many today for the great staff at Park Mazda. Lieutenant Eric, do you have a liner for the segment?
3 questions too many, brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and its dealer principal, Mitch Lewicki, who's very excited for Lights Out this weekend down in Australia. Park Mazda, your dealer for life.
I watched, I think now the first 3 episodes of Drive to Survive. And they're good. It's good once again. It sucked me right back in. If you haven't watched it yet, you'll like it a lot. Yeah, I think it'll be it's pretty entertaining. Just so much movement last year, coming off a year when like all 20 drivers are back. Like, did you get your lineup set for the league?
I got to do that today. I've been allowed to enter the league now.
Okay, so now I guess
yesterday I couldn't.
I feel bad because on that video that Zach was doing for TikTok or something yesterday, I did predict you to finish last because you'd lose interest in it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Okay.
But at that point, I wasn't even in the league. A DNF.
But you are now.
I will be now.
All right, let's get into it. Question number 1. Guys, when Ekholm returns, would you just put Bouchard back with him, or would you mix things up on the blue line with Wallman now around?
Why not?
That's our thing today.
Right?
With these Oilers line combinations, why not?
Blend it, don't blend it.
I Okay, so let's say Ekholm comes. What's he dealing with? The lower body issue right now. Obviously, he wasn't feeling very well either for quite some time. When Ekholm returns, and Trev, feel free to chime in on this one. When Ekholm returns, if you don't put him with Bouchard, let's just play this game.
What about the Klingberg
Play
question?
a little exercise. We'll worry about Klingberg when they weasel him back into the lineup somehow. If you don't play him with Bouchard, what do? You go, okay, what about this? Kulak, Bouchard. No, that's not good. Well, I was going to say Kulak, Bouchard, Wallman on his right side with Ekholm, and then Nurse and Emberson. I mean, we're just throwing things around here. I'm trying to think. You don't necessarily want to play Bouchard with, or what about Kulak, Nurse, Emberson, Bouchard, Emberson, Ekholm, Wallman? I've gone cross-eyed.
Yeah,
I've gone
say
cross-eyed.
that again. Okay, so
Trev, would you just put Bouchard back with Ekholm when Ekholm's back?
Yeah, probably. They were the best defensive pairing all last year. Definitely top 3.
Not this year, though.
Not this year. And so that is one luxury, another option. And it's awesome that they were able to bring in Jake Wallman because you do have that option if the goings are tough. But if they aren't tough, just stick to what you had all last season.
Just roll before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll figure it out.
I don't know when he's not on the road trip, so we won't see him for the next 3 games. So there's no reason to really worry about that just yet. But thanks for the question. Soapcook over in the chat says, I'm surprised Trev did not invite you to the league, Eric, and then say you're actually on the waiting list.
No, Gager almost pulled the Trev. I felt like Hernan.
Really?
Yeah. Well, that's what it was.
Why?
I tried joining the league yesterday and I wasn't allowed.
Oh, that's because he had the settings wrong, right? He only had it set for 10 teams, not 12, I think.
Yeah, we've gone.
So it's all taken care of.
But at the time, it was eerily, I felt like a Hernan.
Question number 2. Guys, I saw that Vladdy wants $500 million over 14 years. It's $35 million a year, 16 less than Soto. Why won't the Jays just do this?
You've been waiting for this.
I have been waiting for this. This one popped up on Twitter last night. I didn't reply or anything. I was like, just leave this one with me.
Why won't they do it?
Yeah. Like, why not? I guess what they did, I don't know if it was...
Why not?
Who had this? Was
They're
it
a frugal organization.
Yeah, that's it. Was it Buster Olney? Was it? I can't remember who it was, but basically it might have been Hyman. Anyway, they said that they offered him about $500 million.
Yeah.
But a bunch of it was deferred, and it was more like $400 to $450 million. Basically, it comes down to they're bickering over about $3.5 million a year, which is a lot of money. But in the elite baseball player world, it's not a lot of money. Like, if Vladdy wants $35 million and the 14 years, this is what happens in baseball. They give out these ridiculous 12, 13, 14, 15-year deals. If Vladdy wants $16 million less per year than Juan Soto, sign him. If you don't sign him and you have to trade him, or he walks and he ends up on the Red Sox, like, the small portion of the fan base that is still hanging on for you will be completely blown apart. So why not give him the money? Why not sign the guy?
Shai Davidi said they spent 1/5 of that on Miles Straw.
Well, what was it? They signed, I saw it yesterday, they signed Springer as a 31-year-old for $25 million.
And this is an analytic management crew. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Why can't you do Vladdy in his prime for $35 million a year?
Yeah.
Also, there is so much money in sports. Like, we're sitting here talking about 35 or 38 million. Like,
but I don't think it's
ridiculous amounts of money these guys make.
Does it come down to the dollar cents? I know you're like, when you're up there, it doesn't really matter, but it's the respect factor, right? It's how you're viewed on the streets. Like, if you are making $10 million less than the guy, but you're both still making in the hundreds of millions, it's still a status of what you are comparatively to.
Yeah, but the Blue Jays wanted, how much were they going to give Ohtani? How much?
No,
were they,
I get it. I get what you're saying
I know,
there,
I understand what you're saying too. But like, for the Blue Jays, you go after all these big fish. You've got a relatively good sized fish right in your own pond that's willing to take 16 less than the big fish you were trying to hook. and you're like, I don't know about that.
You got him in the net, you're pulling him over, and then you're about to whack him. Nah, I don't think so. Let's put him back.
Penner's Pancakes in the chat says, baseball money is just so unrealistic.
I don't think it
really
exists.
Is. 14 years, $500 million. And I'm like, just give it to him.
It's a shell game.
Just give it to him. For a sport that just continues to plummet in ratings, we're just like, 500 mil, no problem. That's crazy. But give it to him. It's not like he's asking for Soto money. $16 million less per year than a guy that you were all hot and horny for. Yeah, Soto's better, but is he $16 million a year better? No. And if they don't keep Vladdy, I know this is hard to believe, but things are going to get a hell of a lot worse before they get better. God, this organization frustrates me. I
Try being a Mariners fan.
I can't even. My buddy Tennell down in Lethbridge says, sorry, boys, I just canceled my Rogers cell phone plan, so they probably can't afford Vladdy now. That's probably it. That's probably the reason. I don't know. I'm done with it. Done with it. And I don't want to talk about it again, but it's gonna be talked about the whole bloody season.
The Cito Gaston jacket back in the closet. Back in its plastic wrapping.
You know, I'll still wear that out for opening day.
Okay.
But I'm not buying the pants with the stirrups. I may not even put on the fake Cito mustache.
No,
although
please,
I should definitely
the mustache.
I should definitely get a fake Cito mustache with the Cito jacket and the Cito hat, and I'll be a Jays fan for one day, and then they'll completely rip my heart out. And I mean, this one, Rob from LA says the stadium will be empty if they don't sign Vladdy.
Well,
but it's a new stadium. It's all fancy. They pump all the money into that.
Irrelevant city is where you kind of go with
the
that.
thing.
You lose that star marquee name, and
is that what you want to be? Come on.
But you are a baseball fan. I mean, that's showing up opening day and then not giving a crap afterwards.
Yeah. There's too much baseball to be a baseball fan.
Yeah. Opening day and then tell me when the playoffs start.
I do love baseball playoffs. The regular season is just too long. Who can sit down and watch 162 games?
I will say, though, there is that mid-season dog days of summer where it's nice to have an old ball game on when it's 35 above. And that's what.
Yeah. All right, question number 3. Boys, I know you said you'd never be on AM radio again, but what about FM? And you get the AM nasty to become the FM nasty on the FM dial.
Yeah, kind of like NWO Hollywood to NWO Wolfpack or something.
Is that what it would be like?
Yeah, you'd flip it around.
I'm not familiar with a Wolfpack.
Crystal Clear FM. You've been on FM before.
That's a great question.
I did a few bear shifts back in the day.
Did?
So
Weren't you a Nikki Sixx guy or something like that?
Well, I also did weekend shows.
Yeah. You did. Oh, you were
with my own
with breaks and bits.
I'd take a color 10, all that stuff. And so we're not. But taking this whole thing, I don't know if FM can handle that. I'll say that. I know the boys on the Bear do some very interesting bits.
AM is obviously dying, and we will never do AM radio again.
R.I.P. though. God bless AM radio.
God, we loved you. You got treated like you're Jeff Skinner.
Up and down the dial listening to junior hockey. I mean, that's
nothing like it. FM would be interesting, though. As you mentioned, have ratings.
The book?
Good, clear sound. I did do FM in Fort Mac. We could probably do it. We could probably do it.
There's no question if we could. It's this.
Let me ask you this, Nasties. How badly would you want that? I think we would still refer to ourselves as the AM Nasty on FM to really confuse people if this ever happened.
Yeah.
But what say you? 780-218-9999. T. Wilson says it's all about FM and color TVs.
Yeah.
Exactly.
AM also with the morning. I mean, AM Nasty.
The AM always tied into the mornings as well.
That's why I think they should embrace the PM Nasty.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the PM Nasty in the afternoons.
What would you be willing to sacrifice in your life to have us on an FM dial? 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999 over in the Nasty chat as well. But it is all about FM and color TVs. That's stupid. It sure is, Kevin. Hot Rod is a pretty good movie. It's an underrated comedy. Danny McBride's in it. Bill Hader's in it. Obviously, Andy Samberg's in it. Will Arnett's in it. It's pretty good. I don't mind that. 780-218-9999.
Beat the hell out of that
Penner's
clip.
Pancake says YouTube is 100 times better, hands down. Well, I mean, we'll always be on YouTube. That'll never. I mean, if we were to ever go,
well, CTV2 would beckon. I mean, you'd
that's
answer
not happening.
that call.
Yeah, that's never happened. But nothing. I don't think if we were on an FM station, we would still be on YouTube. Like we would still be everywhere we are. I mean, it would just be like a additional sort of platform for people, I think. Matt of the Garrett says, I walk away for 30 seconds in EST. No. It just, it was asked a question. I think the question followed up the joke about CTV2 from Penner's Pancakes.
Yeah.
There earlier. That's probably where it came from. So 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999 is where you can chime in today. Get a few more of your text messages. We got scalding hot takes coming up. How have the takes come together?
Right now I'm standing at 1, 2. 2 are finished.
We're doing hot takes in like
One's
6
half
minutes
finished,
here,
and I still need a fifth. Oh no, it's tons of time. Trev going for the three-peat. He's already saying he's not going to win, though.
I said to Trev, I said, you have an overtime take? He goes,
the
there's
old
no way
classic.
I'm getting to overtime today. So Trev is not too pleased with
no faith
with that right now. Faith, have you
like the Limp Bizkit song? Yeah. They covered George Michael.
George Michael did it after Limp Bizkit, I think. But what album was that one on?
The Limp Bizkit one or the George Michael one?
The Limp Bizkit one.
$3 bill y'all. Y'all. Yeah, that was $3 bill y'all.
All right, 780-218-9999. That is where you can chime in today. And we'll get to more of your text messages. We continue to work our way through the show. I love this one. Pizza Boy says, is there enough room on the Shanks roof for an FM dial?
You know, I love the Shanks joke just continuing to live on.
That goes on forever. Guys, EST on the FM dial would make my day. Easier to listen to in the vehicle. Would be a good addition to everything else you guys got going on. That's in from Scott from Wainwright today. Just a little bit more convenient, I guess, is what you're looking at if that were to ever somehow happen. All right, scalding hot takes on the way. A Bootski with a scalding hot take. Says, my scalding hot take, given how awful the Oilers' management, coaching, goaltending, defense, and forwards are, they should just forfeit tonight's game.
You know, it is the front half of a back-to-back, and so maybe you kind of take another day to...
You're never going to win two. You're not going back-to-back dubs. Skip tonight's game on the Rock and just enjoy another day in the Big Apple.
That
might be
sure.
That might be pretty good. All right, keep those text messages flying in, and we'll get to a few more of those as we work our way through the show today. Tango says, gosh, I have 5 hot takes about Trev's actions this week. Poor Trev. It's been a tough week for Trev to turn heel. Of all people, I never would have thought it was coming. Scalding Hot Takes is on the way. GCL Diesel Orange and Blue Breakfast still to come. Marmot Basin Snow Report and the wrap for William Huff. Let's get to a sports update right now where every day is game day at Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. Eric's got more on that. Scalding Hot Takes just around the corner.
Game day as the Oilers road trip continues tonight against the Devils. It'll be one of 9 games around the NHL tonight. Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas have your GCL Diesel pre- and post-game shows. Coverage starting at 4:30 here on EST. Elsewhere tonight, the Kings host the Capitals and Columbus are at home to Vegas. Last night, Utah clipping the Ducks 3-2. Former Oil King Dylan Gunther with the winner there. Brandon Montour scoring 4 seconds into overtime. Kraken topping the Habs 5-4. Canucks over the Flames 4-3 in a shootout. Canucks now even on points to the Flames in the West wildcard chase. And Patrick Kane had 5 points. Red Wings snapped a 6-game slide with a 7-3 victory over Buffalo. Over to the NBA, where the Lakers visit Milwaukee tonight in one of 5 games. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 34 points last night as the West Best Thunder beat the Celtics 118-112. Oil Kings with a 3-2 loss at home to the Hitmen yesterday afternoon in front of close to 18,000 fans. They're back in action Saturday night at home to the Prince Albert Raiders. And opening round action at the Players' Championship is underway today. Taking a quick glance at the leaderboard. Vince Whaley
did not bet on him yesterday.
Did him on the 3 under through 11. He's sitting alone at the top right now. Justin Spieth had a strong start. He is now 1 under through 5.
Sepp Straka 2 under through 5. That's my guy.
Gotta love it.
God, let's go Sepp Straka.
Mackenzie Hughes now the low Canadian 1 under through 4 as well. Sports update presented by Century Casino Sports Bar Lounge with wall-to-wall TVs, daily food and drink specials. It's the place to be for every Oilers game. Every day is game day at Century Casino Sports Bar Lounge.
DRS, DRS, drop that wing and try your best. Get up close, you've got to press, must be within 1 second or less. Show that speed, please don't swerve. Hey, look out, here comes a curve. Hit the button, be ambitious. Goodbye, Mikey, too judicious. Around the world, they will prance. Red Bull Ring to Paris, France. And you never want to finish second best. Push on and refuse to lose. Drop the wing and then use DRS, DRS, DRS.
We got that music going because we're expecting Gager to hop in here for Scalding Hot Takes. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into your GCL Diesel Orange and Blue Breakfast. We have the snow report for Marmot Basin plus the wrap for William Huff. Lots still to come to. Scalding Hot Takes should be a good one today. That's where we're going to start. Man, what has happened to... I'm just looking at this leaderboard at the Players' Championship.
Oh, it's a wild ride.
Vic Hovland's 3 over. Max Homa's 3 over. Hideki's 4 over.
Spieth had a good start, and he must have had a spill. Spieth getting a little
sloppy.
sloppy.
Because remember you saying he was 3 under through 4?
Yeah.
And now he's even through 6. Oh, boy. What happened to Jordan Spieth? Where's this round? Let me see this round.
Should have played the remix for him. Yeah.
So Spieth starts birdie, eagle, par, double bogey, right back to even. That's a tough start. Corey Connors is even through 7. Nick Taylor, Canadian, Mac Hughes, and Adam Svensson. They're all even through 4, 5, 6, 7. So we'll keep tabs on that. We'll obviously come back around that on the lock shop. Lucas Glover, 3 under through 7. Man, my one play yesterday was Corey Connors to beat Lucas Glover in the first round.
No, maybe he'll pull a Spieth.
To get that going. Hopefully he goes full Jordan Spieth. All right, let's get into Scalding Hot Takes today. Where is our judge there? There he is. Gager.
You had a preamble for him, right? Didn't you have a presiding? You wanted to...
no, that was just on Twitter today.
Oh, that was...
I said, the Honorable Joaquin Gage presiding.
Well, it sounds good to say, too.
Yeah, all right, the Honorable Joaquin Gage presiding.
Yeah.
He's with us today here. Gager, what was the holdup with Eric not being able to register properly? What was going on?
Technicalities, eh?
What was really rude?
Did someone
what did you say,
mute
Trev?
his microphone? Wow,
Yeah.
Rude. What's up with him today?
He's gone heel, man. I don't know what the deal is.
Wow, I'll see you later, little man. I didn't calculate the amount of teams. I thought because when I entered the amount of teams I thought I had it right, but it was actually, you know how we have 2 teams per person essentially. Yes. But I thought that when I said the team, because I said there were 2, you were allowed 2, that it would automatically calculate, right? So I had so it's actually the amount of teams, individual teams, not just the people that are competing in the F1 series.
So
that's
just a classic mix-up. It's just a classic
so
mix-up.
I'm not like Trev where I say, yeah, you're invited, and then say, well, come out and maybe. Well, there's a few more people ahead of you, and then maybe we'll make a decision. Like Eric, you were always in it. That was on me. I didn't lead you astray with saying that you were going to join something and then secretly knowing in the back of my mind, I'm just, I'm an evil person.
No, yeah. Just with the recent events around the office, my mind did wonder a bit, but I
Gager's
appreciate
very
you.
transparent.
Very
about it,
transparent.
right?
How hard?
That's great.
Yeah.
I completely understand when you have someone douchey like Trev doing something like that, and it's unbelievable.
I can mute you. You know that, Gator? I'd watch it, okay?
We need
I'd
him
watch
unmuted.
it.
He's judging hot takes.
Well, I have all the power here.
All right.
Power is in my hands.
It's
You know
just
that?
like you to try to ruin the show or ruin someone's life for the betterment of yourself. Like,
What are you going on about? Get this guy off. Let's get this done.
Okay,
over
let's
with.
get to scalding hot takes. Let's get to scalding hot takes. Trev, you are the defending champion again,
Yeah, I
back
am.
to backs.
Yeah, I am.
Trev will be going
fat
first.
chance of that happening.
Eric is second.
Tough guy over there.
Eric is second, and I am third today. Trev, you got the band and you got the clips. I'll get into this here. Gager will be judging. Trev looks for a rare three-peat. I think I've three-peated before. You've three-peated before, but let's see if he can
Cards
get it
are
done.
stacked against him.
Let's see if he can get it done. Trev, whenever you're ready, buddy, let's do it here.
Time now for scalding hot takes.
LeBron may have more points than MJ. He also has more flops, more tantrums, and way more help.
Hot take alert.
Whenever I try to visit the Andretti Global official website, it keeps crashing.
That's a hot take.
Ekholm is faking being sick just so he doesn't have to play with Bouchard.
Careful. That take's hot.
Endlessly supportive team? More like endlessly smashing Trev.
The hottest of takes.
Every team in F1 will get points this season except me in fantasy.
Wow, scalding hot take.
If a doctor took Bouchard's pulse during the game, they'd declare him legally dead.
Hot take alert.
The Oilers are more soft than YouTube Trev when he touches Gager's bulky shoulders.
That's a hot take.
Oscar Piastri will finish ahead of Lando Norris this season in points.
Careful. That take's hot.
Stephen A. Smith should spend less time criticizing LeBron's son and more time defending Jordan's son in court.
The hottest of takes.
With so many
Stuart Skinner hasn't scored, and no one is talking about it.
Wow, scalding hot take.
With so many rookies on the grid this season, you'd think this was Formula 2.
Hot take alert.
Trev put all of his good takes on a wait list this week.
That's a hot take.
The Latino heat? More like the Latino, can you please take a seat? You're on the waiting list.
Careful. That take's hot.
Lando Norris will blow more poles than a porn star this season.
The hottest of takes.
Who slips one past the goalie first? Jan Mark or Tommy Gazzola?
Wow, scalding hot take.
All right, let's go to Joaquin Gage, the judge today. What do you got?
Those were good, even for the selfish one. That he had some good ones in there, but unfortunately, there won't be a three-peat. Not this week. Dusty, it's coming back.
Thanks, man. Woo! Let's go! Let's go!
You know where that's going?
It's going to Disneyland!
Yeah.
The Mit's coming to Disneyland! Can you believe it? Oh, that's exciting. I thought there was good takes today, though. You had
Really
I
good
knew you were
takes.
going to go mostly Formula One.
I had to tickle the judge a
it's
bit.
week,
It is
I get it.
Ozzy.
Trev, you thought you were going to suck, but you didn't suck that bad. You had some good takes in there.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome, I guess. All right,
Wow.
Gager, thanks for popping
All
on,
right.
man.
See you, boys.
Gager.
Good luck.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man. There you go. That's Joaquin Gage. All right, 780-218-9999. Let's get over to the chat. Abutsky says Dusty 1, LTE 2. That is all. VR says LTE all day. Lingus says, sorry, YTT. Dusty's the winner. Penner's Pancake says LTE because of a biased judge in that situation. Duck Dad says LTE. Dusty definitely a winner. The last take was hot. T. Wilson says legitimate dub for Dusty. La Bamba Guy, undoubted Dusty victory here. Pouty Trev, LOL. I liked my last one. Was that not?
Yeah.
What was that one again?
The hammer.
Yeah. Who slips one past the goalie first? Janmark or Tommy Gazzola? See, Tommy knows. It's like, it's like, does Tommy have a kid before Matthias Janmark scores? Yeah. He's trying.
Wrap it up.
All right, let's get into the GCL Diesel Orange and Blue Breakfast. Get you set for this Oilers game tonight. The Orange and Blue Breakfast is brought to you, of course, by the fine folks, Cam and his crew over at GCL Diesel. Cam, Michael, and the rest of the guys. Providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. Man, sensors always blow my mind. Hey, how smart are sensors?
The chips and everything.
Just everything.
The
It's
technology.
like motion sensors, other types of sensors. It's crazy. They're critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. All right, projected lines for tonight for your Edmonton Oilers. It looks like, and Matthias Janmark did not skate yesterday. Darn. Here's what the Oilers are going to run. Not getting away from it. McDavid, Hyman, and Nuge. Figure it out, I guess, in that situation. Draisaitl was with Arvidsson and Skinner yesterday. Has Daily Faceoff not updated these? Draisaitl was with Arvidsson and Skinner yesterday. And let me wait a sec. These lines aren't up to date. I know there's more lines out here. Daniel Nugent-Bowman had the ones yesterday. And then he was on EST Afternoons yesterday with the boys. Yeah, McDavid, Nuge, Hyman, Draisaitl, Arvidsson, Skinner, Podkolzin with Henrique and Brown, and then Kapanen with Max Jones and Corey Perry. Matthias Janmark did not skate yesterday due to an illness. I don't think they need to be putting like 75% Matthias Janmark into the lineup. Wallman with Bouchard, Nurse, Stetcher, Kulak, and Emberson. As for the other guys tonight, the New Jersey Devils, they are missing a very big piece, and they will be for the rest of the season as Hughes is not available to them. Here's what they're rolling out tonight. Heischer with Stefan Noesen and Timo Meier, Cody Glass with Jesper Bratt and Eric Holla, Dawson Mercer, Thomas Tatar, and Andre Palat, and then Curtis Lazar and Nathan Bastian and Paul Cotter. Luke Hughes, Brett Pesce, Dumoulin. Paul Cotter. Yeah, picked up at the deadline.
Paul Cotter.
Kovacevic, Brendan Dillon, and Cholowski on the back end there for the New Jersey Devils. As for a list of guys who aren't tough enough to play hockey tonight, it is your injury report here on the Orange and Blue Breakfast, brought to you by Podium Physiotherapy. Knee pain from that nagging ACL injury, hip or shoulder pain slowing you down, back pain after a long day at work. They've got you covered. Whether it's a sports injury, post-op recovery, or the wear and tear of everyday life, the expert team is here to get you back on track. Podium Physiotherapy. Unlock the athlete in you. Who can't go tonight, Rick?
Well, for the Devils, you mentioned Jack Hughes out, Dougie Hamilton also out, and Jonas Siegenthaler will be out of the lineup tonight. And for the Edmonton Oilers, much of the same as we've known. Klingberg, of course, Ekholm not on the trip. Frederick, Kane, and Regula.
Regula. Got to get a look at him at some point. I'm sure somebody out there is saying, might factor in come playoff time.
Him, Brady Stonehouse, like they're all on the wall of the constantly IR.
They're always there.
I don't even know if they exist. They might just be names created on a spreadsheet.
GCL Diesel Orange and Blue Breakfast rolls on. Key to a victory tonight, buddy. What are you going
I would like to go with, and a very astute Nasty pointed out either in the Paris Jewelers inbox or in the chat this morning. We'll see who New Jersey rolls out in goal. Jacob Markstrom, a history the Oilers have with him, mostly success on the Oilers' part. And when it comes to Jake Allen, too, he does have a winning record against the Oilers when played, and I think he's had a few good performances against the Oilers.
If Jake Allen stands on his head tonight, do you know the postgame show is just going to be a bunch of how did you not trade for Jake Allen texts?
But we'll see. We'll see what the Devils are thinking there. Maybe they know that metric as well, but I'll say whoever's in goal. If it's Markstrom, I could see the Oilers lighting him up. If it's Allen, I could see, again.
Big Hughes saying he's listed as likely. Markstrom's listed as the likely starter for tonight. So.
Well, maybe revisit that money line take on the cool bet, hey?
No,
he's still not.
All right, my game day prediction. Where do we go for a game day prediction today?
Well, you had Kapanen and no points. Anybody else you'd like to add to that list?
The bottom six?
Sure.
I'm going to say Jeff Skinner gets a point tonight.
A point?
Let's just go with a point for Jeff. Betting it. I mean, you couldn't find it earlier. But Jeff Skinner gets a point tonight. He either gets a point or he plays like 90 seconds in the third period and is scratched. Hell, I guess even if he gets a point, he could end up being scratched next game. But I'm going to say Skinner gets a point. Like, how do we know Skinner, Arvidsson, Draisaitl doesn't work? Like, do we have enough of a sample size? And I'm asking you, many of you analytical types out there, you might know this. Do we officially know that Skinner, Arvidsson, Draisaitl doesn't work? Because they started that way at the beginning of the season, and Tommy and I were talking about on the Oil Stream yesterday. I'm pretty sure it lasted like, I remember tweeting out after the first game, it's the first game of the season, the Oilers have gone nuclear in the third. And I'm not sure how many times they've come back to that since.
Into that first impressions thing, hey?
Well, it's the whole, like, that little Strome thing pissed me off. I'm so mad because we don't have the song anymore and stuff. But, like, you bring in Ryan Strome, you barely play him with Connor McDavid, and then you trade him for Ryan Spooner. Like, could any organization be more inept at managing assets than this organization during that time?
I wanted Ty Ratty to get a longer look.
The Ty Ratty look.
I should have been longer.
D-Rock over in the chat says, no 300 today. Look, we're 48 likes away. 14 minutes left on the show. Almost 350 people watching. We can get to 300.
You know you keep them in your pocket if you
hammer the thumbs up.
Like people
hammer the thumbs up here. I think that would be, I think we can get there. I think it's easy to get there. Trev, would you say that, like, we know what Skinner, Draisaitl, and Arvidsson are as a trio? Because I don't think we've seen it enough to know that for sure it doesn't work or is a disaster, you know?
I don't think so. Like, I remember that tweet vividly. Like, we discussed it in the offseason.
Like the very first game. It's like,
yeah, and how much time would we give this line if things are going? I said like 5 games, 10 games. It didn't even reach that. It was 2 periods.
Yeah.
So no, like they haven't barely had any runway. I've been wanting to see Skinner in the top 6 for a long time. I love what Gazdic had to say. He always comes back to it. Like, you're taking a guy that's producing out of the lineup every single time. Like, how's that going to affect the player? And then you bring him in and you expect some sort of chemistry with players every single game that you have no chemistry with. You change up the lines way too much. So no, I don't think what you're saying is wrong at all. They need to play at least one game. And I tweeted about that last week. I said, for once, it would be so nice to see the Oilers play a full game without switching something, without going nuclear. Like, just have line 1, 2, 3, and 4 all the same. And it hasn't been, you haven't seen that all season long. So, no.
Big Dave texts in and says, Jeff Skinner could score a hat trick, get in a fight, and stab the opposing coach, and they would still sit him next game.
They put him on waivers. There'd be something. There'd be more of an action. The more he produces, the more he does. The more serious the discipline.
All right, there you go. That is your GCL Diesel Orange and Blue Breakfast. Make sure you are around for the GCL Diesel pregame show with Tom Gazzola, Hernan Salas. That'll get rolling at 4:30. It'll take you up to 5:30, and then they will return for the last half hour of the Reed Wilkins show. And obviously, Reed and Jay will keep you up to date on anything that's happening in that game today, live right here on YouTube, and tune in on iHeart and at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Let's get into the snow report for Marmot Basin, SkiMarmot.com for all of the details on all of the deals they have up on the hill. What looks good.
Stoked. Like, winter's here. I'm stoked. You stoked?
I'm stoked.
Just
I'm
so stoked.
Yes.
I mean, it came down last night, what, a good 5 inches?
Last night, I think so. Something like that, and a couple feet the day before.
You've got a 5-foot base with 5 inches of freshie on top.
The snow continues to fall, and mountain conditions could not be better. Another 5 centimeters of freshie overnight, 55 centimeters in the past 5 days. And ladies and gentlemen, it is still snowing. Expected to continue throughout the day and into tonight. Temperature is -10 this morning, forecasted high of -7. All lifts are spinning, and 20 runs were groomed last night. Brian Rode up at Marmot in a great mood today. How could he not be? How could he not be? How How can he not be? How can he not be? What's wrong with Eric? What's wrong with Eric? What's wrong with Eric? I think I'm worried. You're holding your breath the whole time?
Yeah.
You know what that does? That
Makes my day.
it is your Marmot Basin snow report.
Makes my day.
Makes my day. There we go. For all the details, Ski Marmot. I'm heading up today. I'm going to go ski Marmot.
Yeah.
I'm going to ski Marmot this weekend.
Well, in your
Tell
khakis.
your mother.
Skiing your khakis.
Yeah, I'm gonna go up, I'm gonna get my khakis. I'm gonna put on my khakis, and I go up and ski Marmot, park in the yard.
Say chairlift.
I get on the chairlift. Chairlift. Yeah. All right, let's get into the rap for William Huff. They've been pretty good at business because they've been around since 1952.
Smart folks.
They can make a regularly ordinary to below average office look legitimate, just like ours. Right? Only at William Huff. Go see Bruce and the team over there. www.williamhuff.com. All right, what did we learn on the show today, boys? What did you learn, Rick?
The Players is a wild ride thus far. Hey, we're in for a good one this
This is
week.
gonna Huss is gonna literally be like that airplane sweating meme during the lock shop.
Those
today.
Diet
Like,
Pepsis
just-
will
yeah.
be flowing. Hey, they.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He'll be. What do we? Oh, he'll love this. I almost did a Huss there. Ooh. He's on Wyndham Clark at 80-1.
Okay.
Windy C, as they call him,
Yeah.
is 2 under through 7. 2 under through 7. Sepp Straka's now 1 under through 6. I'm still okay with it. All right, so we're off and running. Man, Justin Thomas was 2 under. Now he's at even. It's like the first 3 or 4 holes are playing really easy, and then
It's a roller
everybody's falling
coaster,
off
baby.
after that. What else? We learned that Trev's kind of gone full heel turn here recently.
Well, because he didn't allow Hernan on the team after he invited him on the team.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the.
It's pretty clear.
And then on Twitter last night, asked if anyone wants to join the team.
I remember when I was standing there when he invited Hernan to the team.
Yes.
And when he looked at me, he gave me that John Cena look.
Oh.
The same one that Cena gave The Rock when he heel
So
turned.
who was doing this behind you? Do you know what I'm saying?
Must have been Reed Wilkins. I like the idea of Reed Wilkins
throwing him
being
into
the
fray.
final
Yeah.
boss.
Yeah.
Hey?
Nobody would have seen it.
Nobody saw that coming. We are 22 likes away from changing 300. I got a clip for that.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
That's another thing we learned today. 25 years in the business for Reed Wilkins.
It's good insight of his journey and everything, living in the dorms and all that.
I'm always curious about how many jobs people apply for before they get one. Like I had sent stuff everywhere.
Well, you don't know where you're going to end up.
Yeah.
Like you maybe have an idea, and that's why I like to ask them, because I'm going to get into broadcast to do this.
But you
you kind of.
Well, and you have to get into the mindset. Like when you send tapes everywhere, audio tapes, TV tapes, and back then there was a lot more places to get a job than there is now. But when you send those out, like I was just like, I'll go wherever. Like wherever ends up calling, I'm going. That's why I ended up in High Prairie of all places for 3 to 4 months to kind of get started. But I would have gone every. I remember, the story about Reed interviewing me and not hiring me is always a fun one. But the one that really hurt the most, I was trying to, up in Melfort. Melfort used to do a ton of play-by-play.
Yeah.
Like they did a bunch of online play-by-play and a bunch of radio play-by-play. And I applied for a job in Melfort. And that was one that I thought I was qualified for. I knew I would have done a good job at it. And I interviewed and I didn't get that one. And I was like, that one legitimately devastated me. I was like, man, if I can't get the job at Melfort, where am I going to get a play-by-play job? You know, like, and then Fort Mac eventually came calling and yada, yada, yada. Now I work with Suits. So, but yeah, like, it's funny if you would have kept track of so many different places that you applied when you were kind of getting into
a lot of butterfly theory type of stuff,
well, that's
this
true
happens,
too.
That goes to this,
Yeah.
that happened.
Yeah, like if let's say Reed would have hired me out at Lloyd we wouldn't be working here together now
Hell,
at this place.
If Reed was in a different dorm, like his life could have been so,
Yeah.
like, you know,
No, that's a
everything
fair
could have been,
point.
maybe he didn't
Yeah, if you
apply for
had
this
a
that day or something.
different college and roommate.
If he didn't eat at that
Like a
A&W
roommate in college, yeah.
in the mall.
Yeah. I remember when I moved up to Fort Mac, one of the first things that really eased my mind about the city that I was getting into, because, you know, Fort Mac had a reputation for being like a rough city, a little rough around the edges, whatever. But this kind of sounds like fat guy issue. But when I moved up there, I start working at the radio station, and I get like I'm just writing news scripts and reading news and stuff. And then I'm like, I asked somebody, I was like, is there anywhere around here where I could like go for lunch? And they're like, well, go over to the mall. I was like, what? The mall? Like, there's a mall here? Like, what is? So I walked across, and there was like kitty corn, like not far away from the station. So I walk over to the mall, and I go into the mall, and there's an escalator, and I'm like, what? Like, this is a 2-floor mall? Fort Mac is a 2-floor mall? And that's when I knew I was, the town was gonna be okay. But then and they had a food court. The Fort McMurray Mall had a food court. It was at that moment I knew I'd be able to survive in Fort McMurray. And the food court had a taco time, which is like my number one choice at food courts. So it was at
don't
that
tell
moment,
me they
I
had
know.
an Orange Julius as well.
They didn't have an Orange Julius. That would have been
That'd have been your
hidden
bingo,
for
hey?
the,
Yeah.
that would have hit for the cycle. So yeah, that was just comforting,
We didn't learn now that we're in the show as well, and sorry to switch gears, but the movie reference, the Easter egg you were hiding on the show today. Can we?
Oh yeah, Corey B did get what the Easter egg was. Didn't guess the movie. I don't think
he said Joe Dirt.
Way off. Okay, so the Easter egg today was me twirling the side of my hair like this. Okay, this is from a movie. It's one of my phone movies. I have it on Apple TV, so I can watch it on my phone all the time. And it's twirling my hair like this. That's the Easter egg. Any guesses on the movie?
Oh, geez. It's a deep. I give up.
I could give you a clue. I could list off the movies that are on my phone. Here's the movies that it could possibly be. Okay? And the one guy in the movie would twist his hair like this. Where is it here? We'll get to Sound of the Day and Text of the Day in a second. Here's a list of movies that I have on my phone in Apple TV. The Air Up There with Kevin Bacon, great basketball movie. The Big Short, Blackberry, Boiler Room, Broken City, Con Air, Contact, Contraband. It's a good Wahlberg movie. The Count of Monte Cristo, Draft Day, Enemy of the State, Flight of the Phoenix, The Founder, Frequency, Gone Baby Gone, Gone Girl.
Jesus.
The Internship, JFK. That's when I was into that JFK conspiracy. Jobs with Ashton Kutcher. The Lincoln Lawyer, Moneyball, Nightcrawler, the Iwanic biopic, Paycheck, Point Break, the follow-up Point Break, the second one, Prestige, Pride and Glory, Rounders, The Saint, Sleeper, Snake Eyes, Sneakers, Snowden, Social Network, Source Code, State of Play, Sum of All Fears, Swordfish, Time Cop, Timeline, Two for the Money, We Own the Night, The Wolf of Wall Street. It's one of those movies.
Penner's Pancake says Rounders.
Well, Penner's Pancake says Rounders and then says Count of Monte Cristo 100%.
Oh, so
how
he
can you
switched.
say Count of Monte Cristo 100% when you said Rounders? Lock in a final answer, Penner's Pancakes. Lock in a final answer.
He names all the 200 movies you've just rattled off here.
All right, let's get to your sound of the day. I'll give you the sound of the day in the amount of time to guess this thing. All right, where do we go for sound of the day today, boys? Here we go. Oilers need to win. They got to party all the time.
It's a lifetime question.
Very impressive. Taking a few years to put all this together.
It's not a one-year quest because it's so hard to get your hands on. At this stage of my life, I don't invest in green bananas.
Yeah.
It's a lifetime quest. Just not sure if I'm going to be around long enough to see them ripen to be yellow. You can't party enough when you win that thing. It's a party machine. Party machine. That's why it's the Stanley Cup. It's hard. It's hard.
Party all the time, party all the time. Brought to you by Totem Outdoor Outfitters. It was the Count of Monte Cristo.
Yeah.
Jim Caviezel, when he comes back after escaping from the prison, his old love interest can recognize it's him because he twirls his hair like this. He would have had to be pretty deep to pick that thing out. But that's what the Easter egg
Got to be a real film buff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Text of the day today. Let's go to that one that came in from Big Dave.
Honorable mention to T-Mac the rugby guy. That was George Michael Bluth that sings Faith, correct?
Oh, yeah. That's a good one, too.
This is a good time.
That's a Limp Bizkit song.
Yeah.
Jeff Skinner could score a hat trick, get in a fight, and stab the opposing coach, and they'll still sit him the next game. That's the text of the day from Big Dave today for A&W, where the Stacker Burger is back for an LTO, limited time only, or it is an LTO, limited time offer, whatever it is. It's back for a little bit.
IHOB.
Single stacker, double stacker, triple stacker, $3.99, $4.99, $5.99. The Stacker Burgers only available for limited time at Canada's original burger chain since 1956. So head to A&W today. We've got the Hangout coming up next. Reed Clarkson with Tommy and Jasmine. They're all fired up, ready to roll. So we'll turn it over to them. If you're watching on YouTube, turn on autoplay. That'll take a read on over to the Hangout today. I'll be back with the Lock Shop at 11. We're 7 likes away from changing 300. So let's hammer that as well.
The Mets going to Disney World and
Disneyland. Disneyland. Yeah, the Mets, big win today. That's an important one. The kids will love it. All right, for YouTube, Trev, Lieutenant Eric, Charlie the Penguin, and myself, Dustin Nielsen. I'll talk to you in the Lock Shop. Take it easy.